Welcome back to Shifting Through the Gears. This is Keo.
This is Trace, and today we have
Timothy Allen Sheehan Jr.
Jesus Christ, just all the names out there today.
Wow, that's impressive.
He went with the full list.
Yes, sir.
And
Logan.
who always looks like he's crying. I had to.
Thank
I'm
you for
sorry.
letting me swallow
And
first.
none of you guys can see it, but Tim can't touch the ground, so if he wants to
my
scoot forward,
my
he
toes
has
are
to.
touching.
He has to.
Didn't help you put a
scoot.
40-pound box under me.
You're the one that wanted to sit in the race chair.
Hey, that's half my body weight, so.
that's like all his body weight.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So this is our second take trying to do this episode because the last time I completely screwed up.
You want to just do it like
jobs.
screw this one up because everything on my car has to be done 3 times, so might as well make it.
No, I don't want to do that at all. Because this is a far ass drive from my house coming from the city down to Joliet all the way up here.
Yeah,
Happens on the big
I
jobs.
drove that like all week.
I quit driving to the city for reasons.
I was driving Roselle to Country Club, you know where that's at? Mm-hmm. Twice a day, all
Fuck
week.
that.
And then afterwards, like every other day, I was driving from there to Bartlett to Rockford, then home.
That's a whole lot of hell no. Like, no, absolutely not.
Got good hours.
You
So
get paid to do that.
Yeah, 10, 12-hour days every day.
There's a difference.
I didn't get paid to do this. I didn't get paid to go to the city in the first place, okay? So let's see. For people who don't know you, let's give a little background. How old are you? What do you do for your a living or your job? And then list a couple passions you have.
Couple. That's me hard.
There's what I'm looking at right
Say-
fucking now.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Let me correct my direction. Here you go. Fair enough.
He drives the Subaru,
Yeah.
don't worry.
I'm 25, truck driver, local truck driver, and then cars, computers, Lego. Pissing people off is usually another one. That's pretty good.
4-year-old activities.
usually. Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
That sounds like an
It's a
adult.
4-year-old with
Yeah.
expendable income.
Yeah.
That's great.
I can't buy a house, so I might as well spend my money, right?
Fair enough. At least you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
And what are a couple of the vehicles you own?
So that's like a 90 something. I don't know what fucking year it is. Nissan 240 with an LS1, like Prime style car, and then 17 STI, a 07 Duramax, technically a Miata, somewhat of a Miata.
Technically.
It's a cart. It's
Oh,
Pasha's.
yeah.
Pasha's
Okay,
cart.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's a story. I found the whole story behind that with. Or
Did you?
Was it Pasha? That's
Yeah.
the kid. Yeah, there's a story behind that. How he bought it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
funny.
shit.
What was that?
It's really funny.
So, John at Koza like went to. He thought, he was like, oh, that's badass. I'll go buy it. Like, go look
Yeah.
at it. He wanted like $7,000 or something ridiculous for it.
Damn.
Pasha's like, yeah, it makes 450 wheel or some shit like that. And John's like, there's no fucking way it made that. And he's like, if we'll put it on my down, if it makes over, I think he said 300, I'll give you the $7,000. It made like it was a turbo Miata.
Yeah.
240,
No fucking like standard turbo, not like
Yeah.
fully built like
215.
yeah, it was like 220 or something like that. And then after that pull, John told his buddy like, hey, go get a nitrous bottle and just open the bottle all the way up and spray it in the intake right behind the kid. And they did that, and it literally blew rods out of the block. And the kid's face it just looked like his dog died. He said they just like because he didn't like pay for it yet, and they just blew the fucker up on the dyno, shot rods out of it.
Yep.
I want to cry for the kid.
It doesn't
God.
matter. I mean, John bought it. I think he
Okay.
had more than they had agreed to if it didn't make the 400, which was like $3,000 or I don't know what it was.
That'd be it.
He ended up giving like 4 or 5 or what. He doesn't really remember.
Oh,
What,
the
but he
kid walked
definitely
through.
he paid what they at least agreed to, if not more.
Yeah. I remember watching them push it up Koza's driveway when they delivered it. It was on a tow truck. Lowered the flatbed down, rolled it off, and then there was like 3 or 4 of them that were pushing it up the driveway.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And then it made like fucking probably 1,500 or whatever it was when he put the twin turbo LS in it. He raced like Cletus and like I think he almost went 200 and a quarter or something like that. I'm not sure what it
Damn.
or eighth. I don't know what he did exactly with it.
So he has a death wish, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Pretty cool guy, though.
Guy's got some balls. I like that.
Yeah. He almost put like a
Phrasing.
and then he ended up in like a full like billet block and everything, but he never raced it like that.
Oh, so is this just like his?
Like he had like
F-Ron car?
$100,000 like engine like drivetrain set up in the car, but he never raced it. They got it together and they never did anything with it. They took it back out and sold it, the engine.
$100,000. I would too. Shit. It's a Miata. It needs 240 horsepower to move.
It's not really Miata anymore.
Relatively fun.
It's got
Okay,
a
it does
ZL1
not
Camaro
need
rear end, a Fox body
240,
front,
bro. It needs
like subframe.
100.
It had a Miata floor in it. It literally was a Miata floor and firewall, and the rest of it was tube chassis, and had the ZL1 rear suspension. It still has the ZL1 rear suspension and the Fox body front suspension.
Could you imagine going into like the auto parts store and being like, all right, I got a Miata, but hear me out. Just hear me out real quick.
No, that's when you just grab the
I
keyboard and look
don't
that
even
shit up
say that
yourself.
anymore.
So I got a list here. Look them up.
I just go in part numbers and order it off Rock Auto or the dealership wherever I need it from.
That would just be funny. It would confuse the fuck out of them. Yeah, it is. It's a Miata, but it's got a Fox body front end.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to please do that to somebody and just fucking record that and put it on like TikTok or some shit. For that thing behind you, I got a 240 with that bliss, blah blah
I
blah.
don't even say that. If I need an LS part, I just say it's a 2000 Camaro, and I don't even like bother.
Just save yourself.
I might
the time.
mention it later, but like I won't mention it trying to get the part number because they got small brains and
I
it's
need a
hard to get
wiper.
the
Is
right
it?
part
Is
number.
it?
I need blinker
Manual?
fluid. Where the hell is
It's
that?
a fucking wiper blade. Is it 4x4? It's a fucking wiper
Should
blade.
just come engineers, and if I was an engineer, I would 100% make it different just to piss people off.
Oh, you would be a dick.
Manual Mustang versus automatic Mustang, yeah, different wiper blade sizes, and they hit each other when you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it matters.
No, it'd have a
Make
different
it make sense.
spline.
You would be the
count
guy
on
you
the
hate.
windshield wipers. So if you tried to like get new ones or buy some, you'd have to count the splines. It'd be some
that.
Tim move. Be one spline different.
That's some asshole shit. Logan, what about you? How old are you? What do you do for a living? And what kind of vehicles you got?
I am 25. I drive a E34 and I'm building an E36 with an LS. That's about it. I'm a mechanic over at Deluxe Auto in Campton Hills. That's about it.
Doesn't he sound like he wants to cry?
I don't know. I don't really do
Don't
well
seem so
talking
goddamn
about
sad,
myself.
dude.
I don't do well talking about myself. I don't know. I'm just not a a hype man for myself. I just do the thing. I help Tim out. I'm learning. Just one of those guys that's the comedian, I guess.
I just saw your fucking thing on your dashboard.
What's it say?
The little
The pony.
yeah.
That some Jake guy with was it a Laurel? Cressida.
Cressida.
Was like storing
Big
some here that
body
was put in there.
unit, I'll tell you what. And then we got that big bodied unit.
sex and sex.
Automatic. Shit brown.
No, shut
Hey.
up. You be quiet. You shut up.
That's like an
You shut up.
espresso shit brown, okay?
There are two different cars. You're Mr. Pro-Am, and then there's this thing called Style. You know. You might lower your car a little bit, but it will never be that low.
So I don't like hearing my car go.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
On the
half
track.
that's half of the love
I
of
remember
it.
asking someone, like, does it not make a bunch of noises when you drive? I'm like, it does. I'm like,
Why? Why is it
that's
so
fucking
low?
annoying. Every time you transition, like,
Yeah.
I'd be worried my shit would just like left the chat.
Ross's car got stuck on my alignment rack at work.
did it?
It's for the love of the game.
Yeah, his exhaust flange hooked it.
So I had that happen.
Fucking jack it up, add all the 4x4s under it, and fucking lower it down.
Yeah, my exhaust like downturn will catch the trailer.
Jesus.
Shoots flames.
Big
I've seen it.
two-step with the two-step. Yeah,
It's loud as shit. That's for a fact.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, I'm talking the other one behind you.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
he's got to put a muffler on it. So
Doesn't have
Put a
to.
fucking muffler on.
yeah,
it.
it does.
Nope. If I do, it's gonna be about this big off Amazon.
Hey, it just has to say it's a muffler.
Yeah, that's gonna be at the end of the
Oh,
exhaust.
can your exhaust just identify as a muffler? It's 2025.
Try
bro.
that one at GLB.
2024. Bro.
I say, sir, don't kick a year up my
No,
ass.
it's a
over this
competition
shit.
style car. I'm good.
Oh, really?
Almost to
Yeah.
the year of Black Ops 2. Think about that.
Thank you, ADHD.
Yeah, dude, that's straight up ADHD. I don't know why. I'm just ADHD, dude.
Left fucking field. I love
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Left
Oh,
field. He
that's
was
what I
in the
was
state
thinking
of Maine. Like
I
he was
am.
so far away from the conversation.
I love you, Logan. You're fucking great.
Yeah, dude.
So obviously, if you're watching the video, you can see we're in a, I would say, a pretty cool setup. So how did we all get to know each other? I met him years ago. We covered that, but how did me and you get to meet?
This? Or I think you said you met me at the track one time.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anyone from the track.
Ross was giving you so much shit.
Probably.
I was saying nothing because I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know a fucking soul at this place.
Is that when you ran out of gas?
I think that was that event, though, yeah.
My key memory from that?
Yeah,
it
we
will
went through the
come
whole
back to.
competition with one filled tank at the beginning of the day, and we never checked it throughout the rest of the day. And then we got through the comp, all like to winning, and then on fun runs, Ross was behind me, and like I kind of like pulled on him for most of the track, and then right at the end he like surged up on me, and I knew from like after turn one, like my car was breaking up, and I was like, I'm out of gas,
Damn.
and like.
That's a bad time to be on
Yeah,
gas.
and then like on the last turn, I just like ducked out,
Damn.
and he missed me by like inches.
I remember I watched. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I remember
You
just
get
looking
noises.
at it and being like, "Yep, he's out of gas."
yeah, and with like the radium setup, you can literally take the radium fuel tank with the surge tank to like this much fuel in the tank till it starts doing that.
Oh shit.
Every time it's happened, I literally look in the tank and there's this much fuel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's the fuel sock and the fuel's like here.
It takes a
So
full
what did we
jug-
learn?
jug and a-
That I should
Sometimes
Check your fucking
I
fuel.
should put the fuel gauge. I should wire the fuel gauge. It's got a fuel gauge.
You just need to wire it.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is check his fucking gas. sir.
sometimes on these big jobs, you run into that. You run into that.
Yeah, the one memory that sticks out to me was we were going over your car. It still had your doors on and your windows in, but you
There's
had
no
the
body
back
on-
end off. Like
yeah, pretty much no body other than
yeah, it was
fenders. Just
yeah,
fenders.
pretty
Yeah.
much. And you were talking about somebody how you had just like finished welding it up shortly before the event, like a few days
Firewall,
before.
right?
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
I half-assed this weld, and it still looks better than half the welds on this track.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this guy's
It was
fucking
galvanized sheet metal for like HVAC from Menards.
That shit was funny.
Like I built it in like 45 minutes. Like
I've got a video,
days
and
before.
he
Jesus.
looks pissed.
Yeah, that's my memory that
Yeah.
stuck out because Ross was like, why don't you talk to people? I was like, I don't know anybody.
yeah, and that firewall was literally zip tied to the cage, and it didn't rattle at all.
You just gotta go out and just talk. To
Like and like the
people. I hate
panels
to
were
say
like
it.
partially welded and partially just like self tapped.
That was my first
Together.
time to US here, by the way.
I hate to say it, dude. I've been places first time. You just gotta walk up, be like, "That was fucking sick."
I'm sick of that
That's it.
place.
Well, that was my second event. That was the first time I had anything outside of a skid pad. So for me, it was just like all these cars, and in my head, when I go into a competition or something of whether it's sports or whatever, my head is leave me the fuck alone. Don't talk to me. Let me get through my event, and I'm gonna go. So that's how my mindset of what most people were. I should have started talking to people as the event was going on when people were getting knocked out or whatever. But yeah, that was my interaction with you. And then a few months ago, I was like, "Hey, want to do a podcast?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Sure." And now here we are for the second time because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah. I don't like people.
Tim's
Nope.
one of those guys that has 3 friends, or perfect example, right? I've called Tim, doesn't answer. He'll call me, I'll answer. He's like, "Hey man, sorry, I wasn't feeling people these last couple of days." So I'm like, "All right, I'm fine with that."
He knows it.
Yeah.
We'll snap each other. In a talking mood today, I hate people.
Yeah. Like you asked me for the address for this place. I saw it. I
I was
opened it. Didn't respond. Then I just forgot about it.
I was like, he'll text me tomorrow. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
call
man.
me. Call me. Whenever you need to talk to me, call me.
I figured.
I'll almost always answer my phone. Like
Call
unless
type of guy.
I don't want to talk to that person, I'll always answer my phone.
That's kind of how I am too.
Especially like Instagram. I don't have notifications on Instagram. So like
That's
you may not get a response.
I started
from
texting
that.
on Instagram and I was like, wait. You have his phone number. Just
Yeah.
text like.
Yeah.
And I was on the train, so I was
Like if
like,
I'm talking to someone on Instagram, I'll keep checking it. But like if you just like have a thought and then it may not reach me for a little bit.
fair enough. Let's see. And then obviously we met Logan because
Yeah.
he was here when
Yeah,
I
I'm
came
just the guy.
up. He's that guy.
Yeah. Lugging that loose guy.
And how did you two meet? I know you guys
And the
met.
first time I actually met you was when you bought that motor off me.
Yeah.
I think so.
Other than briefly at GLD, but
again, like I don't remember anyone at the track
I
usually.
really don't think we even exchanged names back then.
Yeah, and I probably just thought you were raw.
Probably. But yeah, I'd say the first time actually talking was when I bought the motor off
Yeah.
you.
I like that deal because it was like I sold it to you for the price of a blown up one, but I was like, it should be good, but like, it's sat for a couple years now, and I did drift on it for like 6 events without like an AccuSump or anything. But you said it was fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, all the
Yeah.
heads looked fine.
The only reason I would have ran that motor if I had to. It was I just had an aluminum block that I had the option to take, so
Yeah.
I switched it. Obviously, I had like 26 psi, like hot oil pressure, like hot,
Damn.
which is like normal for an LS. Like 18 plus is usually fine,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, the whole thing is going to get redone now.
Yeah.
Ross stole my camshaft to put on a customer's vehicle, so
You're getting a good deal out of it next
they're
one.
upgrading me for one that can handle boost. So
You
that'll
want to
be
buy an
fun.
aluminum block? I have an aluminum 5.
Is it a Gen 4?
I have a Gen 4.
Yes, both I think, or if it's not a Gen 4, it might be like a Gen 3, like LS2 style, which has the Gen 4 rods. 99% sure.
Is it the Gen 4 crank?
That's a question. That's a questionable thing because those those 253s or 3. I had 3 total. They had weird, depending on the year and anything. It could have been a 24X or a 58X.
I need the 58.
Yeah, you're gonna have a stock ECU. Yeah.
So check that this week.
I'll just trade you the motor back.
No, I don't have an iron block back. I have another iron block I should get rid of. I've got fucking 2 LS1s, an LS2 block, a 5.3 short block, aluminum block one. So it's like an LH9, I think, and then a LM7 iron block, short block. All need rebuilds except for the one that's in my car.
Yeah, I'm about to buy a BTR crankshaft for it. The Summit Pro Racing LS
Or rotating
piston
cylinder.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then send it with those.
Yeah.
That sounds like a whole lot of money.
Not as much as you probably think.
No, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
not bad.
grand. It's not
1,500 probably for that setup.
So the BTR crankshaft was like roughly $800-900. And yeah, Texas Speed offers one for like 600. It's like mid 600. And then just the piston kit with no rods was like another 600. I gotta find and look up the.
Do you know who makes those Summit pistons?
Not sure.
Summit doesn't. We all know they don't. Someone else makes them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's whatever. Ross ran the same setup in his pink car.
Yeah.
So if it was good enough for his abuse,
Just
it
not
should be.
rocker arms. Just not Summit Racing rocker arms.
Yeah, no.
At
Broken
RJ.
in half.
At RJ.
I was gonna do.
I wonder why they did that because like stock LS rocker arms, like OEM ones are a dime a dozen. Like they're literally like everywhere.
Yeah, I was
It's
advised
it's
to do like
usually
the
another way to-
LS7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they're all the same except for the LS3s. Maybe I don't know if the LS7 are they like the same as LS3 probably.
I think they're just a little bit more durable.
Maybe. Because there's like cathedral port. There's pretty much cathedral port ones and square port ones. But like the LS7's a different square port. It's like different. So like maybe the rocker arms could be a little different.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So obviously you've got a collection of things, and I'm sure you've had a collection of things in the past. I was looking through your Instagram, and I saw you had a bug eye.
Yeah, lifted Impreza. Yeah, but
You would BMX'd, and you were into gaming. So something I've actually I heard it on a podcast, and me and you talked about this a while ago, of why is it most drifters or most motorsports and like active motorsport competitors were BMXers or skateboarders at some point.
I feel like it's adrenaline rush probably, and then they usually stop BMXing or skateboarding because they don't want to get hurt anymore.
Yeah, and so you just hurt your wallet.
Like the number one person I always remember, I usually hear it from is like Adam LZ. He only doesn't BMX anymore because of his back, because it hurts when he rides.
I mean that makes
fair.
a lot of sense
So-
because you used to skateboard and BMX a little bit. Did you?
Yep. I was a fat kid that BMX though. So I'll be for real here. I'd just try to jump down staircases. I wasn't good at tricks, bro. I had the 180 down. Tim out here was shining. I was scared to do
I like
the
flat
spine.
toe though. Like once
Bro,
I could like,
I was
grasp his tail
I
up,
was
I'd
that
just fly
fat
by.
kid that was scared to do the spine because I thought I was gonna die. I thought everyone was gonna get that video that was gonna be the meme for the rest of the fucking life.
We've all died on a spine.
Yeah, no. To this day, I refuse. I'll ride every other ramp in the park. Tim's like, you're gonna do
You don't
the
even
spine?
have to leave the spine to go over. You've seen
Shut
me,
up.
You have seen me literally roll over it. Like
Don't
you've seen
even
me like
nope.
literally rub my like chain and crank.
I
or
have
my, sprocket
it's just
against
that
it.
fat petrification, bro. I'm not fat anymore, but bro, I'll tell you what, dude. You get me near his spine, I start getting shaky. I'm like, no.
There's a cool little skate park in the city.
Is there a spine?
That concrete one. That concrete one that's like in
I'm
the
just
city.
joking.
I
Probably.
think so. It's like a 80 like 100 feet deep and like 60 feet wide.
I think,
Like
yeah.
it's a whole gated in
that
park.
one.
So they actually they put it up because kids wanted to skate and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
But they had so many problems doing it, like using public property.
I've been there a few times.
I never got to use it, but
I haven't been there.
I was an inline skater.
You'd look like an inline skater.
I'm
Doesn't he? Doesn't he? He's got that look to it.
dude. I used to run. Like I tried skateboarding. I was too impatient.
Let me hit the
I would love to tell you a
rollerblades
story
really
about the
quick,
only other
brother.
inline skater that kind of looks like you, but it is
God.
way too like rated R to say the story on a podcast.
We'll have to do this after.
Yeah, it's disturbing how bad like this human was.
Oh, that's not. God damn it, man.
That's like the only inline skater I remember from the skate park, and he just would say things and then ride off, and you're like,
How are you alive, sir?
not even alive, just like, how are you not in jail?
Yeah, it's
You're like, what just came out of this guy's mouth? And he was like 35, and we're all like 17. We're like,
Bro, he was skating when the peak of skating was a thing in like the mid 2000s.
he has a laptop in his back pocket.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Yeah, I like that and like speed skating, but I ran. I started getting into BMXing and BMXing a little bit, but
I like running, but
lived
I
in
like
this-
broke my ankle so many times that I actually like I want to say like run crooked in a way.
really,
I can feel the difference.
You got a
And
little,
like
you got a little
I think
gimp
it's
to
my-
him. You know what I'm saying?
my left ankle, like it doesn't bend in a certain way.
so
A
it
little
makes you,
gimpy
Yeah.
running.
yeah,
And I didn't notice until I started running. Like, it doesn't like hurt. It just makes it like almost like awkward.
it's annoying to do it because like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I can run like a few miles and
Got them
stuff,
shin
like
splints.
between like 2 and 5, and then like
that's just called old age coming up on
yeah,
it.
it's just like weird. It's just weird to do it because my ankle doesn't like how it's like like a 90-degree angle. It doesn't bend up anymore.
It
from
just
breaking
stays.
it so many times.
Oh God,
And never
Doesn't
going to
do the
physical
thing
therapy or
anymore.
anything. Like I would like break it, and then like as soon as I could walk on it, I'd start walking on it. Like I remember the last time I broke it, was in crutches for like 3 days, and it was like in
how'd
high
you
school.
break it?
Um,
Fucked up and missed a jump.
Was that the time
honestly
that you
don't
left
remember.
the pea? We put peas on your ankle and then we couldn't find the peas when we
no,
woke
that
up.
was like middle school or something. I don't remember. I broke them so many times, like upwards of like 7 times with my ankle or so.
Well, and now I see why your shit doesn't move.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And there was someone to do physical therapy.
It's
and I
a
wouldn't.
strong
and then,
ankle,
like,
though.
so like the last time I was like, I don't know, sophomore in high school, and they put me in a boot or whatever, and then they kind of stopped doing casts as much as they could, and then
Okay.
they put me in a boot and the crutches, and like 3 days in, I just was like done with the crutches,
You're like, just walk.
like,
Just
yeah,
gimping around.
and like I just started like walking on it really carefully, and it was fine.
Did you Forrest Gump it?
What is that? I don't get that reference, to be quite honest.
So it's when he had his whole lower body in a brace and he has to start running and slowly works loose so he starts actually running.
Breaks off and he's like, I'm free, I'm running.
And he just didn't stop.
yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't
no, I like
stop,
walk
bro.
on it carefully, and then like I remember walking back into the orthopedics, and they're like why are you
not-
walking like on the boot? I'm like, it feels fine. You're gonna tell me it's not broken, and they did.
They're like, oh, it's broken. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was just
Actually, a
careful.
spiral fracture now.
Fuck.
Shit.
There was ones like my wrist because I broke some weird bone like somewhere in my wrist, and apparently it's like the longest healing bone in your body. So like they're like, yeah, you'll be good
Right
in like
back here?
yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be like
that's-
6 weeks, and they can't see it in a normal X-ray because it's under shit. So they had to do an MRI like at least 4 months after. I
11
broke
weeks
it.
later.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, this one's still broken, and I'm like, oh, so like the entire
Fucking hello.
that was like my entire like freshman year of high school. I pretty much had a wrist
This guy's dropping
thing on or
stuff
whatever.
every 2 seconds.
I don't know what's going on. Everything
First
it's falling
he
apart.
spills his beer and he doesn't even take a sip of it yet. Then he knocks the mic to the floor and
Bro,
stops his
stop.
phone and the
All right,
vape.
listen, it happens.
These are nice pretzels. Look at that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Try to make
So-
not catch the mic with the fucking plastic.
Mute his ass.
I just did. And you
It's
too.
like
Eat away, dude. So let's see. What was your favorite game?
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Video game?
Yeah, when you were playing, because I saw you had I saw you had a decent little. I don't want to say it was a decent setup.
I'll say
like,
it's really. I would say and it's like mine's old now, but like it's.
but at the time, it looked like a really good
like now,
for the time.
like
frame.
now I've got like a triple 27-inch like Samsung monitors and 1070.
I'm starting
for
to
the
really
win.
not like this guy right now.
And then once I get like my room back down, I just paint my room so it's like all fucked up. I'm getting like an 84 to go on top of the screens, TV, and it's the same width as the 3 screens combined, and it's perfect.
Sir,
And it's
hold
an
on.
inch.
Pause.
All
You're not
to
getting.
do
You're getting a.
what you guys
You're getting a
know what
wall
he's gonna do.
put up.
Yeah, well, that's just to watch TV on in my room.
Oh,
But
so
it's
like,
Quote
as you-
unquote.
But
TV.
I don't like when the screens don't match up. So it's 80. The 84 inches is exactly the same width as the 3 monitors on the table. So it'll be like a big square essentially.
I mean, that makes sense.
And then
like,
it's an
I can
inch. It'll be an inch from the ceiling and an inch from the monitors.
Take notes, Nate. Thrace. Nate, when you listen to this, take notes too, because we need to do some dumb shit like this.
But it's like a 1070 graphics card, like some i5. It's like from like 2018,
It's still
still
gonna
runs good,
run
though. Yeah.
plenty of the games out now.
and I don't really play other games. So back to that. The only 3 games I'll ever buy anymore are RuneScape. And it's like the long.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I play RuneScape 3. Sorry, it's gonna piss you off.
I haven't played it in
Okay. So like the more up to date one, not the old school one. GTA and like barely Forza or Call of Duty. Those are kind of just phasing out now.
yeah.
But other than that, I have so many games I
Forza's
just
fun
never
for like
play.
a lobby. Like you want to get on, your buddies are on.
Well,
just shoot the
Tim's
breeze.
Tim's that guy that plays the game for
10 minutes.
10 minutes,
Same.
and
I'm
then
on for a race and I'm off.
and then
like,
we'll shit
Jesus.
talk and just sit in the lobby or in
Yeah,
the
but
party.
RuneScape I've got since
He's
like
that guy.
2009. I've got I think it's like 12,000 hours on that game
Damn.
over 2
Sounds
accounts.
about right.
Even if you average it, it
Damn.
still looks bad.
no matter what you do.
And I don't play it like consistently, so like.
But when you play,
it's a
you
very
play.
like what do they call it? Not like it's AFK, but like what's the other word for that? What's a word for it? Idle game.
It's
So like you literally could click every 5 minutes, or now it's like you could click every 15 minutes now for certain things,
and it'll still show ads.
and it's
that
still
whole
playing.
time.
Like it's still you're still progressing. So like I would consider like at least half that I'm watching TV or on the computer doing other things at the same time.
Remind me to bring the boom arms next time we do one here, because the booms will sit on this table.
Well, this is the last time you'll be in this shop.
Oh, you moving?
I just don't need a shop. We just had it for the winter.
Oh, okay.
And I was gonna take over the lease, but like with the 2 other guys I was gonna have in here and lifts and stuff, it's such an awkward size to have 3 lifts in here.
I think this would be good for like a 2 lit, like 2,
For 2 people to be in here, it'd be great.
and like you really can't. You'd have to do you really can't even do a 3rd lift there. It's
No, it's too weird. And
I
then-
think two would be plenty with like storage space.
yeah,
in
but
the
for
corner.
the price, it's like $1,400 a month for $700 for 2 people, and like I really don't need a shop.
So
I
you-
have zero issue pulling my engine.
We,
I have 0 issue pulling my whole car apart in my driveway.
We had
There's no
Tim's
issues with
car
it.
No
down
HOA?
to a bare
I'll pull that
chassis
engine.
in
We'll
his
pull that
driveway
engine in like
and
an
painted
hour.
it and put it all back together
in your driveway.
Yeah.
in a driveway. Yes.
A lift really doesn't do a whole lot for you. It's nice sometimes, but like
I think it's nice when
Quick jacks.
Yeah,
even
like,
if a jack stand,
even
it's like-
Yeah.
quick jacks like these would be. How much more could we get done?
A lot, because
Like-
now you're not waiting for the lift to go up or down.
Yeah, it's like you're not sitting on a foot tall jack or a stand. Like you can get a lot more.
like
done.
changing an axle on even with the just back jacked up, like it's not that bad.
No.
If you were to time both of them, like it's probably not much different by the time you rack it.
Yeah.
So
Quick jacks, I think, it's a nice medium for.
Don't crush your finger though. It hurts like a son of a bitch.
No shit.
Yeah.
no, Sherlock.
Yeah. Know from experience.
For you, it'd be like a jungle gym.
You could probably walk under it. Your head would
That?
hit. Yeah.
It's
I
like,
could sit under that thing and still have really smooth, dude.
it's like monkey bars.
muted. There we go. That is one nice thing about the
Is
quick
that-
jacks is they go like as tall as like
Is
a
that
6-ton
max
jack
height?
stand. No.
Close to.
No, that is
Okay.
that is max.
I
height.
mean, honestly, like you could still drop an entire drivetrain and motor.
yeah, like this. It's like decently like
Yeah. Versus.
yeah, like 3-ton jack stands. I hate 3-ton jack stands.
Yeah. At that point, like
6-ton or like I have both, but like yeah.
so we're gonna go buy a bunch of 6-ton jacks, or I'm just gonna save the money and stop being a.
And
bitch
I
about it.
personally like
So you
the,
can stand under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally
Dude,
like
12 tons, I could
the,
actually like sit under 12 tons.
With enough
stands.
blocks that they give you, you could probably stand under it.
the Blaine's Farming Fleet ones I like better because they're pins. They're not like the ratcheting style. They're less adjustable, but like I like those ones better.
I like to like the security where if something
Yeah,
shakes,
it's a full pin and then like a cotter key or whatever, or pin, or like the ratchet styles are just not that they're unsafe, but like
They suck.
yeah,
they're nice for quick jobs.
Yeah.
Like quick, easy jobs, but like if you're gonna be putting some force on it, yeah, I like the pins. So let's see, we covered that. I think we covered enough for people to kind of get to know
Yeah.
him as far as like younger him. Obviously we met at US here for a drift event. What got you into motorsports and specifically drifting? And what keeps you?
I don't even remember what made me buy a 240 to begin with.
Not okay.
Cool, let's go into that. So then, then eventually I got one, and then because I do remember I bought mine like a month and a half before Adam LZ even like bought one. So it wasn't that, because that was a common thing when I got one. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got one because of Adam LZ," and I'm like, "No, I actually had it before he even said anything about it." Like that, like physically.
Yeah, physically, like more centered to you.
And then the first one I never ever wanted to drift, and then like that one got totaled by some dickhead. So then I bought another
Is this
one.
when you wire tucked, or is it the second one you wire tucked?
It was like kind of wire tuck. It was like a happy medium, kind of.
Okay.
Like it was like
I creeped
the
on your
wires were kind
Instagram
of like
through the
nicely
entire
like taped up and stuff, or
A
like,
half tuck.
and then like the brake lines were like tucked under
half
certain pinch
tucking.
welds and stuff like that. So like, and it was black engine bay with black like wire loom, so it was as well hidden as I could.
I mean, I saw those pictures. It looked clean.
It was.
It looked clean.
It was
Especially-
tucking
you were
you.
still in what,
T-boned
high
the-
school or
yeah,
whatever.
I was senior.
Yeah. So like, I would say for most people, that's a pretty damn good job. Especially
The
how
engine bay
many
looked
people are
really
building
nice.
a car in high school?
Yeah, it looked really nice. The engine bay looked really nice. The outside of the car was like normal 90s, whatever. Like faded, kind of faded paint. The quarters were already cut by the last owner,
Okay.
and I didn't have the over fenders yet. Didn't matter. I only drove it for 2 months before someone pulled up in front of me.
I saw that picture and I
Yeah.
was like,
The strut towers are almost touching the firewall.
Damn.
Yeah.
damn. That's a hit.
That's some distance.
Frame
brother.
rails all crinkled, like everything. Like it was fucked.
Trying to make it a car town car.
Yeah. And he had, yeah. And he had no insurance either, so that was awesome too.
Of course.
And then how long is it till you got your second? Obviously, you've had a
The
few
second one, I
240s.
crashed that one, and I think within a week, I had another one.
And
to
you had it-
transfer the drivetrain over.
You had it running what, like, I want to say within a week after that.
So from pulling the motor in the old one to running in the new one, it was 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Running, like physically running. Driving like a week, because I was
Yeah.
waiting on like some parts, like the new radiator, intercooler,
Miscellaneous
pipe,
stuff.
intercooler pipes, like stuff like the stuff that got damaged in the crash. I was waiting to get shipped.
Okay.
And stuff, and then like a couple other things. Like at that time, I five lug swapped it too. Like all the parts I had sitting for that old car, I just put on the new one right away. And there were some issues, obviously, with some of that.
So you knew what you're walking into a suit. Like, all right, I know I have to do this. These
Yeah,
parts
like I
are good to go.
five lug swapped it and put my Cosmoses that I had bought that summer, and then they didn't fit with the brakes. So then I had to wait for wheel spacers.
Damn.
Which I know you're sitting there going, can you hurry
Yeah.
the hell up?
That was like the last thing I was waiting on, because like the Cosmos, like between the spoke and the face of the wheel, there's like nothing, and the four piston brakes are like massive. So like yeah, I needed like an inch spacer, and even an inch spacer is like that much gap or something.
So it was enough to clear.
Yeah, but you literally couldn't drive with the wheels on there like that without the spacer. So
Okay.
just once it was like literally ready to drive, put the wheels on, didn't go anywhere. Yeah, and then I hit the coil over too with the first drive. 'Cause
How do you sit there?
the camber or whatever, like the camber bolt
Yeah.
was like out of adjustment. So then it like once some of the weight was on, then it hit the coil over. Like, it was just like it was that close, and then it hit it, and I drove down the street. And
You're like, let me go back home and park this shit.
yeah.
So you got a question to pop in with?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm gonna just ask kind of like the
That's fine.
standard ones. So you got 240s. What got you into drifting? Like, was it? I'm gonna ask
crashing
you,
that one and then having a piece of shit.
and then like knowing you
Second
could beat the
car.
hell out of it and
Yeah,
not care.
not care at that point.
So like, how did you discover drifting? Like, as silly as it is, like, did you catch it on like the
that
Fast
I
and Furious
probably
stream?
would
Did you see
say
option
Adam LZ.
videos?
I remember watching all of his like progression videos at the beginning.
Okay.
That probably. I remember that like really well. Or like Haggard Garage probably.
Okay.
Also, it was
I
probably Haggard
just
Garage
started
first,
watching those, actually.
and then Adam Oz. Like Haggard Garage was Haggard Garage. Adam Oz actually was like half decent of a YouTuber. So like,
Fair. I mean,
yeah.
I think for me it was Need for Speed Carbon, the little drift events that
the
they had.
first
in it.
Need for Speed. I only ever
forgot that
I
game.
never played any of those
Yeah, I
up
remember
until
that game.
Undercover, and Undercover was such an underrated one. Like I always say, like, oh, I loved Undercover. Like I never
What?
played that, and they like say like
Instantly.
Most Wanted or all these other
Yeah.
ones. I'm like, I'm not sure how much customization there was on that, but like Undercover was
Yeah.
like you could change everything on it, like the hood. Like you'd like
Yep.
it'd start with one hood, and it would look completely different by the end of it.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of like the cop things because like you'd like the more you would race and the more the cops would chase you, the more wanted you were. So like
Yeah.
I had like a Lambo in that game. It was like literally completely wanted. So like as soon as you saw a cop, there'd be like 20 cops on you.
and
So
you're
you literally
driving
have
your
to.
ass off.
Well, yeah. So like that car was only for racing. So I'd get in it, leave the garage, teleport to the race, start the race. It never got drove on the street because then in that game too, I think if you got caught, especially at that point, you lost
gone.
that. It was gone. And that car was so well like tuned or whatever, so
Yeah.
set up, and I had all the graphics on it, and everything. I was like, I'm not losing this fucking car.
No.
It was like my
Logan,
favorite car.
What did you? What got you into drifting, or who got you into drifting? I should ask that, like who, but
I guess I was never really into cars.
we know who did it.
Well, I was never really into cars kind of growing up or anything. And then throughout high school, I remember seeing Tim do his things because he had his lifted Subaru. And then I saw the 240 in the school parking lot. Like this, that, and the other. I always appreciated cars. I never thought I would, be dicking with them as much as I've done. What really got me into cars was Tim and I kind of just hanging out again because I had a car problem and I called him one day and he's like, well, is your check engine light flashing? And I'm like, oh, baby, she sounds like she's got a cam. And he's like,
Stop driving the car.
no, he goes, how far are you away from home? I'm like 10 minutes, brother. He's
drive.
like, just get this stupid piece of shit home.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2004 Pathfinder. It was a 4-liter.
So you
Oh yeah.
so he's always he always has been around Nissan apparently.
Well, no, I don't know. I knew, like, Tim and I were.
Not those pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I hate this. I will say the Pathfinder. I think was it like an 04? It had the supercharger on. That was pretty badass because that was like one of the first SUVs that had boost and the 2000s. Oh, customer had one.
The Nissan Xterras.
It's just like the baby version of that.
Yeah.
Like the same.
Yeah.
Same
Oh no,
idea.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah, you
Xterra,
see those
Xterra,
early
not the
2000s. If you see the Xterra, and I think they only offered them in yellow. Was with the
Pathfinder.
supercharged
Yellow one, I
package.
think gray.
I don't think I've seen a gray one.
Our
I've only
customer
ever
had
seen
one.
them in yellow.
I know we had a customer with a yellow one. I thought I saw a gray one, but there's like a specific design. If you see it, like it, right
Different
away.
trim and stuff or something.
Yeah, it's something, but it's super minute. Like if you look at it at a quick glance, you don't notice it, but there's one little thing.
Yeah.
They're still fucking ugly.
Oh yeah. I hate.
Oh,
mine.
they get like 13 miles a gallon.
Oh no, mine
fucking terrible.
exclusively
8?
gets. It's like 9.3 because it's got the calculator. Oh, it's fucking
Think about that.
terrible.
That's like what my dad got in his excursion.
Yeah.
That's what you get towing a car in a trailer.
I don't know what I get my trailer and truck set up, but I want to.
I'm gonna guess you get 9. On the wait, Duramax diesel.
Yeah, so like I know I can go to US Air. in,
I'd
like,
say
a
it's
tank.
what 12.
Or I think US Air is like 100.
Mine's at like 10 when I
50
calculated
miles.
it the other day.
My BMW's at
It's like
like
10 and a
That
half.
math scared me. I don't think
22?
it's that bad. It's not. I don't think it's that bad.
my BMW's like 22 now. Oh, I love it. That's the reason why I dated
There's no
it.
fucking way I get less than a semi. No fucking way.
If that's a good, chucking it out.
I'm gonna
But-
start using the work truck for fucking my trailer. If that was the case.
I guess Tim and I were always friends throughout like life. I guess we grew up doing BMX and then high school happens and then I just knew he was always into cars, so I just called him like, "Hey man, I don't know what's really going on."
7. I'm gonna say 7.4.
Same point. And that's like if about 36 gallons. It could be give or take. But
But that's tools, trailer.
yeah,
car.
the trailer weighs 13,000 pounds loaded.
Okay.
The truck and trailer combined, if I have 4 people in the car, it's like 21,000 total or 22,000.
It's not that bad.
No.
Not with that additional weight. Now, if your truck hits at normal, looking at you, Logan.
Oh, you calling me fat, huh?
No, I
You
said
saying some things? Huh?
your Pathfinder just sucked.
Oh, dude. Yeah. That's the reason why it's sitting in
Yeah, and that's
the driveway.
usually doing like
my uncle's
70.
house.
It'd probably
Okay.
be better if I did like 60.
Well, just
Probably.
or just be Ross and do fucking 90 with the trailer. Apparently,
I don't do that. I don't go that
In
fast
Mexico.
anymore because tires are not.
Bob did that on the way to Florida for the Clutch Kickers event in his
What?
F250. He had the flatbed with
Gooseneck with 2 cars.
his
on it.
his E46 and Ross's S13 on it, and we're all convoying down there. Bob's got cruise control set at 90, 95 the entire way, and then on the way back was that snowstorm that we had, and he's still cruise control set at like 80.
Yeah, no thanks.
I mean,
like,
I'm
what the
sorry.
fuck?
With that additional weight, you can be 40 or 80.
I was
You're
gonna
The
just
other tires
not
are only
stopping.
rated for like
Yeah.
75 miles an hour.
I was in a 04 Suburban back then too, and as soon
I
as
could
we hit
only
snow, the whole
fucking
thing started
imagine.
sliding. I'm like, okay, I'm at like 40 and
Mm.
it's still sliding.
That thing probably had enough weight behind it that it was just like.
So we just didn't care.
I said, yeah, if I'm crashing,
We
I'm
ain't
crashing.
stopping, brother.
It took us roughly about 24 hours to drive back home from
Yeah,
Florida.
I was almost gonna go to that, but that was when I was building this car, and my other car was still like in one piece, but I didn't want to spend the money to go down there. But I was like, after I saw it, I'm like, I'm happy I didn't go. But I was also like, I would have stayed in fucking Tennessee overnight or something
Yeah.
like that, and just waited to come home.
It was
yeah.
funny. So like
I would've
Jacob
been in a
Kraft
bar.
went
Yeah,
with
and
his,
him and Royce got fucking
Yep.
stuck in the ditch. I think twice.
Royce was playing Candy Crush and
Was that the
completely missed the
Snapchat I
turn.
saw? Ross
Yeah.
is like waiting, stuck in a ditch, waiting to
Yep.
get pulled out.
Yeah, Royce was in. They were on the side of the road for like 10 hours or something
Yeah.
ridiculous. They literally ran out of diesel
was,
too.
It was like 2 tow trucks that came. The first one that came wasn't equipped to pull him out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they could
you
have
at least give
froze
me
to death.
gas,
They
bro?
were like on the
Yeah.
edge of freezing to death.
Yep.
That's insane.
All to go to Florida.
See, this is why I can't
All
wait
to
for
get
my
home.
first
Yeah.
first drift event, like on a travel road. That'd be fun. So you kind of got into that off. We'll say Adam LZ drifting. What was the first place you drifted, and what was your first event you drifted?
GLD drift shy shit.
Okay. I know exactly what you mean, but
Everyone
yeah.
knows what I'm talking about when I say shy shit.
Um,
You see that they did that competition in Rockford at the end of last year? They did like another like hostile takeover or whatever at
Yeah.
Rockford, and they promoted the hell out of it, or at least they tried to.
Mm-hmm.
Did you realize they didn't post shit after that event?
I did not know.
They posted like the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything after that posted about that event. So that tells me it didn't go that well.
I know they had a good turnout on the last race for Rockford. but
Yeah, that
obviously
was Elite
'cause
Tuner.
it's
That
closing.
was my favorite event. And that was an Elite Tuner event. So I think Elite Tuner events are just big in general too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which that'll be at King County Cougars in Geneva this year, which is like 10 minutes from my house. It's going to be so nice. It's going to cost me nothing to drive that event.
It's a 4-minute
I'm
drive.
going to make
for me.
money. I'll be changing
I'm
tires there.
so
I'll
mad
make
at you
money.
right now. It's a 45-minute drive.
Last year
to
when
us.
we went, I took the bike. It took me a minute
we won't
and a
have
half.
to sleep in the trailer. Oh my god.
I might still drop my shit off the night before though.
I could see you dropping off, rolling in at like 7 a.m. Be able to kind of relax and,
And
have some
waking
fun.
up 10 minutes before that.
Yeah.
Wakes up at 6:45, stops at McDonald's or gets.
It doesn't start till like 10 or noon. Like that's when like the
Oh,
feature drivers move
This
in.
guy's gonna wake up at 8:45, stop and have lunch on the way there, and leave the restaurant
no,
5
no,
minutes
no.
away.
I don't
at,
eat.
like,
I don't eat while I drift.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact: Tim does not. I've probably spent hundreds of dollars buying him food and going, "Hey Tim, it's right here." He looks at it, goes,
I'll eat it
I just
later.
don't have like an appetite.
he goes,
during the
"All
day
right,
for
cool."
that.
He walks away, and then it'll be like the end of the day, and it'll be all cold, and he's like, "Damn, my food's all cold," and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!"
I remember you bought me a burger once, and Bob took a bite.
Oh
out of
my
it, and I was gonna
God.
eat it. I'm like, I just lost my appetite. Not even just from him eating it. I just like I had like intentions to eat it, and then I saw there was a bite out of it. I'm like, I wasn't even disgusted. Right? I just didn't feel like
It's
eating.
like,
it
okay,
anymore.
well, you took my joy out of it. Thanks.
Yeah, you took my like will to eat that, and just
Yeah.
And
Tim lives on White Monster, Smart Water.
I don't
and
even drink
vape
that.
juice.
Everyone makes it seem like I drink like 10 monsters during the
Yep.
day, and what it is I'll crack one open, sip 3 sips,
And then leave it
and
for
then I
later.
leave it in the sun for an hour, and then I just grab another one. You had Modelo's and you didn't tell Logan?
No, he told me.
Oh, he did.
He told me. Yeah,
Oh, there's no lime.
shut up.
That's probably what it's missing.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, open mine so I don't spill it on me. That's a common occurrence.
Because he's a child.
That shit was
I
funny.
am.
So
pencils.
what was the? Thank you.
You should just put Tim's button.
I'm just literally gonna start doing. So what was your first competition you competed in?
That was a daily drift round 1 at GLD, like the first ever one.
Yeah, that was the first comp I went to in a
Yeah.
sense.
Drove practically perfect all practice and then fucked up both laps during competition. It didn't help.
Saw it, and I was like, "What is this guy doing?"
I didn't. Well, it went from driving to some kid with a BRZ that wasn't driving very well to him crashing. To
Oh,
I had a
remember that.
buy run, and then Colin like up against me,
Damn.
and then like on like my I think follow run, I expected Colin's car to be like really fast off the line. It's not that fast off the line, so I jumped him and then I lost him. Like I had turned my head around and saw him go. "Meow." I'm like, oh, there he is. Like
I think
Boost,
his car is
baby.
one of those like he almost has to baby first gear.
he doesn't. He starts in second.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, that's right. The ride along I went on, I was like, I watched him hit first. He goes straight to second, and then
But
he
like
just-
even when I start in second, like at probably the round I won at US Air, I don't know if you noticed that much, I kept going off track on the first turn because I was doing 1-2 and then having to handbrake, and that was just too short of a run up to like do everything. So then I just started in second, and it was still fast off that. Like if you like watch the video between me and Colin, now he probably wasn't full throttle either, but like I probably put
that
like
was
half a
it
car
was
on
just
him or
such
something
a,
on the
it's a
run
quick,
up.
such a quick. It was so short, like
That's just the track though. There's not really a way not to do that with that track in that section of the track.
especially when it's like some of those cars were putting up power.
Yeah.
I would say power for especially grassroots or pro.
Definitely
pro and
now
prospect.
at this point, like, but now that they put the 245 rule in, that'll help. It's not gonna get rid of it. Like, I could still do it. Just like I only make 400. I make a gripped up 400, so I could just grip it up more.
Yeah, Colin was not 400 horsepower.
Yeah, he's like 8.
Is
But
that the big
on
wing,
that
though?
track, it's a leveler. That track's it levels it.
max.
It still levels it. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's one thing I like about, I guess, kart tracks in general is, at least that I've been learning of, is you could have a 240 horsepower Miata and a 600 horsepower Corvette, and if it's a tight enough track, it'll level it out. But
Yeah.
now if you go into something like
a oval
an oval or
road course.
yeah, like a track,
No fucking
There's-
chance.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of struck. You're kind of struck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
so I think it's good. Like I like that.
Like
that we
Milwaukee
utilize them.
Mile, I could run away from an E36. Like I could put bus lengths on that
and just
because I'm in
cruise the
like I was
rest.
in, I think third.
But at US Air, they're on his door.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they can be.
Get off my door.
Adam Billings.
And I can slow my car down enough. Like I've had like Royce at GLD, like drive with him. When I lead, I just left foot brake really hard, so he can stay on me. Like so I'm not just running away from him, and it doesn't like bog down or anything like a super high horsepower might sometimes if it's gripped up.
Okay.
And then I can still follow like KMR or like Ross or Colin at GLD usually.
Okay.
There's
So
definitely still a little faster, but like it's not unmanageable.
you can play with it enough to
Yeah.
make it.
Inch of towing in the rear.
That we're
Solves
not
it
doing
all.
that ever again. That was a lot. Half to 3/4 like max.
No.
An inch was
Listen
like
here.
an inch was fun on a test day when there was nothing out
Rocket
there. Like it
ships.
was fast. And then cones got put out like on a different day we went with the layout. And if you weren't perfect on, even if you were online, it went straight and like it like took you offline. Like that's how much forward bite was in the car. It literally wanted to push you off of line. And like I would like
So
literally
that'd be good for like Gingerman.
that much grip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a
couldn't try
pretty.
that one.
There's only. I don't want to say only a couple. There's most of that track. I feel like with your car setup, you could lay out pretty well.
It's got like long sweepers,
Yeah.
a lot of straightaways on it. So it'd be more ideal in a setting like that than
It's only
GLD.
spot I'd be worried about is Spectator Hill.
kind
That
of.
first initial right in towards Spectator Hill.
I have a feeling I'm
in
gonna
the
get to like
back
600
sector.
horsepower and stay there. Like 400 now, like top, like third at Rockford, it was kind of hard. You got to bump the tire pressure up to like 40
Yeah.
to be able to run the bank half decent. Even so, it was pretty shallow angle. And then, what was more like if I want to do like fourth gear ever, I don't think it would do fourth. Maybe at Milwaukee Mile I could do fourth because it's so flat.
Yeah.
But like obviously a bank's literally trying to push you down it and you're trying not to be pushed down it. So I think I have like a LS2 I just picked up that built with some like LS3 heads, higher compression, 5 something horsepower, maybe.
Should be good.
Because once you hit supercharger, you're 1A big money stuff, and then
You're cracking.
I don't know what the
out
minimum.
six.
Like obviously you could probably have it set up where it doesn't really do anything, but like realistically, it's probably gonna be like 700 with like an LSA if you already have a built motor.
So Ross's goal for my car, or his original thought for mine with an LSA supercharger on it, completely maxing out the supercharger, you'd be right around 800.
800 for a LSA is like max effort.
That's a good number. Like I said, if people got to know you, how you got into drifting. I want to know, as a competitor, how do you prepare for events, and what's your mind state before? Like, are you nervous? Are you trying to run through the track? Like, what do you do before an event, and what's your mental state or emotional state with that? Of
Is the car together or not together?
Yeah, honestly, I hate competitions now. To be quite honest, the like mental stress of not even like the competition itself, like just the prep in my mind is the worst part. Because I like rethink, like, and I'm a truck driver, so I literally am in my head all day long, and I'm
safety check,
literally
check,
just
safety
through
check.
my head in circles of the same things, like same 7 thoughts, like going through my head.
Did I actually tighten that?
Yeah,
do this?
not even like
Is
not
the
even like
angle
tighten.
right?
I'm usually not worried about that. It's like things I have to do or something or should do, like fix this thing or like do this differently or
I've gotten some text messages like
Even
here's
down
a
to, like,
list of
cleaning the
shit
trailer
you need
before
to
you
do
leave.
when you get off work. Like, all right, Big Pop, gotcha.
I hate showing up to the track with like the trailer all fucking like disorganized. It always like goes home unorganized generally, but like
But you like showing up organized. So when you
everything's in where it's
So when you
supposed to be.
need it, or like at the Milwaukee Mile, at least that was allowed.
That was a big one.
At least like when we went to the Milwaukee Mile, and Ross put his shit into the wall. Tim's like, "Hey, go grab this. It's in this spot." I instantly knew where it was, and at least like when stuff's organized and someone needs it, I can be like, "Hey, grab this," or somebody at least with our like
Honestly, that was a funny
trailer
event.
or like our team can at least grab it and get it to somebody in need, because rather have it than not have it.
That was a funny event because like Ross and Colin both broke their shit at different points, and like Ross, like I feel like I had more shit. I was more prepared than they were. I think they just both bought their trailers though.
Probably.
I think they just bought the stacker and Ross just bought the enclosed, so it wasn't like fully set up yet. But like, I also like anytime I use one tool on the car, I try to put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So like I've got like full connector kits, like tap and die sets,
Yeah.
chase, like even the chase set.
Tim's big. If he sees bundles,
oil
like the
pressure
little
tester.
plastic
Yeah, those, like-
containers,
yeah, those.
oh, he's huge on those.
If I need one, I just buy a kit.
Yeah.
Like if I need one cotter key, I buy a cotter key kit kind of thing. One O-ring, I buy a whole kit.
whether you need it or somebody else
Yeah.
might need it, it's you have it available.
Yeah. Like I probably have like a tote like this big, just full of those plastic kits.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You never know.
I have riv nut kits, oil pressure tester, leak down tester, compression tester.
rather help
like,
somebody
a lot
out and
of-
keep somebody's
Yeah.
day
Multiple
going. 'Cause,
wideband
like,
sensors.
you don't know how far somebody's traveled or what they've
Right.
done to get to the event.
I usually have a handful of, like thinner tie rods and outer tie rods.
If you can spend the hour and we got the tools to fix your shit, might as well fix
Like
it.
welder. You have to come to my house one time and like look at, or even at the track, like there's 2 generators, welder, air compressor, tire machine.
Like you've got a
voice
shop
two
set up ready to go.
toolboxes. Yeah, there's stuff like there's like a steering rack on the ceiling, a steering column on the ceiling,
Jesus.
coil packs
Make
on the
sure.
ceiling, batch
you-
bars on the ceiling.
You got it
There'd
ready.
be 4 tire racks in there this year instead of 3.
What the hell?
Like 6 jugs of fuel, probably 8 of those like 30 something gallon, whatever those yellow totes are, like 8 of those. There's like 6 more smaller ones now because we're getting rid of a tool cart that had a bunch of stuff in it. Like I had like a whole toolbox full of little just like spare bolt, like a drawer of bolts, drawer of wiring stuff, everything.
Jesus.
If there's something that you need, there's probably a high chance that it's in the trailer somewhere. You might not know where it is at the point.
I am the most likely
we'll
to
find
have
it.
it at the track at least. At
Just
minimum,
give
I'm
you
the
a
most
few minutes
likely.
to look.
Yeah, let's at least
Like
check
I
the
have a
stock,
bag
you know?
of tire valves, like wheel valves or whatever.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I'll change them for some people sometime. Like that thing looks like shit, so I'll just pop it out and put a new one in.
It's something you'll never think of.
They literally cost 15
honestly,
cents.
that's-
I usually try to sell them to a person for like $5, but like if it's that bad, it just
Yeah.
costs me 15 cents. I just
Like,
charge them 15 for
Hey, give
the
me a
tire.
here's a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Like
But they literally cost like $15 for 100.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
If you could give somebody advice for prepping for an event, as far as like how to keep yourself, it's their first event. first time going, what's a few things that you would recommend to them that would make it a little bit easier where they're not super overwhelmed? Or even like a tip, like,
I'd almost just say talk to everyone.
okay, that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
hoping you would say.
No one cares that you're spinning out.
Just
No
talk
one.
to people.
I don't.
Listen to
I've
them.
Everyone
never met.
started
I have
from that.
never met someone that actually gets mad at someone spinning out. The only time I've ever been mad if someone's doing that is if like they're spinning out and then like almost like backtracking on the track to try again. If that makes sense. Like they're not continuing
My
from where
car
they
might
failed.
blow away.
Like I've seen them like spin out and then they're facing the wrong way and then they kind of go back and like turn around again and then try to hit the same
Like
thing.
a redo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Would you say after the second time you spin, just get off course?
not even that. As long as you're progressing through the course. I mean, there's almost like a time limit though. Like if you
Yeah.
keep spinning out like one turn after another, like you just kind of cut your losses or whatever.
Like go back, ask somebody, hey, can you go for a ride along? What do you recommend?
Yeah.
Or
Like
hey,
for
can
me,
you-
I liked it when they had the figure 8 set up at GLD, just because it was a simple setup.
That's
to
how I
kinda learn
literally
the
did
car.
when I first started drifting. I like quit my job because I was pissed off and I had like a bunch of money saved. So I just went drifting every Tuesday at GLD for like
Yep.
for between like August and like the time they closed. And I think that's where I got like 90% of my progression from because they'd be like, and that at that time, like GLD drifting wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So like, it was
It was
just
simple
Chi-Town. It
because
was just Chi-Town.
You could learn your transitions in the car. You can learn how to carry that drift.
The
all
most
way
cars I
through.
ever saw that at those like 6 or 8 times, whatever it was that I went, there was like 4 cars.
Yeah.
Like it was literally unlimited seat time. Like people were just waiting for their cars to cool
When I went
down.
with my
and you
G-
could go out there for like 2-3 minutes. As long
Yeah.
like everyone kind of knew how long you could be out there because there
Back
was
when
only
they
a few
were
people.
allowing like 12 car trains going through it.
Yeah, but even now, like even if you go on a Tuesday now, like you kind of get to go out there for like a minute or so. Like it depends on how many people are there. Like I was there last year, and like we got there right at the end, and there was like pretty much no one out there. So like
Yeah.
I'd probably pretty much go until like either a couple cars kind of piled up or like just a normal amount, like a minute or two.
Yeah, because the line
A
can.
minute or two is a long
Like
time.
on a Sunday, the lines get real long.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just stop driving. If I have to wait more than like 5 minutes in grid, I don't.
I think one of the last times I went there, it stormed and my window switch got wet and just shorted itself.
Yeah.
It fucked itself. So
I don't drive in the rain either. Though.
It was my driver window was fully down. My passenger window was a majority of the way down, and my wife was sitting in the passenger seat, and we're like, "Fuck, we're parked under a tree. We're already soaked. May as well go out one more time." We went out, and the whole skid pad was flooded. So you'd start and immediately into like a lake, and
Yeah.
it just shifted the whole
I had to
car
drive
back.
the last round of daily drift last year, or I guess the third round, not the last one, but was not happy.
Oh, we had to drive.
I got
home.
like one good
We made that
practice lap. I'm
hour
like,
and
yep,
40
that's
minute
it.
drive home in the rain too, with the windows open. It wasn't fun.
Sounds like Pritz and Mike when he took his crash run up to USA in
Yep.
the rain and shit. Like,
Yeah, it was a soggy ride.
yeah,
Oh, I bet it was.
I like my truck and trailer. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I need to get a trailer. I got the truck.
Yeah.
So I got one more quick question for you, just kind of ask a bit of it. What are a few safety things you'd recommend to somebody who's never gone to an event or needs a reminder? As far as it could be, anything. What's a safety thing you'd recommend to somebody, and why would you recommend it?
I want to say like a seat and harness would be like the number one thing.
Okay.
Like,
Like
as in like an
above-
upgrade. Like, yeah, just like, yeah, it
Yeah.
could be even like a Chinese seat or whatever.
Just an upgrade, like
Yeah.
a better seat to
Yeah,
hold
like-
you more
Yeah,
stable.
like I just ran like Chinese brides for the longest time. They were fine. And like that was when I crashed my first car. I was in the Chinese bride and they didn't break or anything. And I hit the guy at like 50 miles an hour.
Shit.
And I didn't move an inch, and the seat was fine. Other than that, like unfused circuits bother me a lot.
So like proper
Wire,
electrical.
yeah. At least put an inline fuse on that. If
Okay.
you're gonna wire it like a dickhead, at least put an inline fuse in there. Like I literally have like those like Amazon inline fuse things for if I have to do something really fast.
For R240, I went to Rural King and got their wiring harnesses because it's got inline fuse and relay in
Yeah.
it too.
I like that.
Yeah, and you can get away with the like most switches are like rated for like at least 15 amps, I think, 10 or 15 amps. So like, yes, you can get away. Like last year, that's how it kind of was. Like I just in the inline fuse stuff, except for like the fans, but that was the fuel pump, and I think I burned out the switch. But I think it was because the fuel pump was going out and drawing more amps, and that's how it burned out the switch. Because
Yeah.
like the next event or something, yeah, the next event the fuel pump was like dropping pressure. So
I'm sure you've had some interesting stories as far as events that happen to you. What's the worst thing that's happened to you so far drifting?
The week of U.S. Air.
Week of U.S. Air.
The first time.
That's not the worst thing. I would say the most like I couldn't understand it was I didn't like drift for like a whole year just because of work, and then I got the angle kit on and everything, and then it fucking snowed on the day I was gonna go up there, and then so like that was just done for the season, and I stuck it back in the trailer, and I was like the car doesn't need a whole lot, so like I got like a bash bar and like some other like things I didn't need but just got, and then I pulled the car out of the trailer like in like end of February just to like drive it around like get ready kind of. Drove it, let it idle for like 5 minutes, and I'd start it like every 2 weeks in the trailer for like 20 minutes. Drove up the street, it like bogged, and then I got like another 100 feet, and it just started rod knocking.
Oh no.
And that was with the SR20. That's why I don't run SR20s anymore. It literally rod knocked out the trailer. Damn. Like I pulled out of the trailer, drove up the street, rod knock.
See, I hear a lot of podcasts like SR20 God motor because they're like big SR20 fans.
No,
but they know there's a huge limit of like you can get 350.
They're junk.
And you're kind of tapping it.
They're junk.
Like
they're junk.
I don't like SR20s.
There's nothing good about an SR20.
I'm not an SR20 guy.
They might sound like a better Honda, I guess.
That's fair.
At that point, just case
but
swap
like
your
I
fucking
still get
240.
pissed off at like Final Bout because like 70% of the cars are SRs.
House
So
music
it's the
and
same, like-
SRs.
all day long.
Doosh, doosh, doosh. Yep.
He's actually not far off on that.
That is Final Bout.
I also hate US Air, like, or not US Air, Final Bout in a way, because everything looks nice from the outside, and you start looking at people's engine bays, and you're like, eh.
If you had to recommend somebody that obviously with social media and how everything is portrayed, would you recommend somebody to focus on look pretty or make sure your shit's safe and runs correctly?
That's what I
and
did.
learn how to drive your
My
damn
car didn't look half decent until last year, and even then, it still wasn't there.
It would have looked so much better if you had the bumpers and the.
It did at the end of the year.
I meant
August.
I saw it
had
at the end.
the full body kit on. The first day of the body kit, we had to take the bumper off. We never got back on because the quarter panel Chris Hill's exhaust thrown through it.
Damn.
So
Thanks,
it
Chris.
literally lasted like a few hours of driving.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't really like the rear bumper on the 240 anyways. I really don't like them that much.
Depends on the rest of
I
the
might
vehicle.
just like cut it, do a comp cut,
Yeah, I love how that
and
looks.
either
Is that the one where they cut like the whole lower middle?
Yeah,
I've got
like the top third of it.
yeah,
there.
and I've got a KVD bumper, and then I might even just try a stock one and just see which style I like, or just have nothing. Honestly, I could care less if there's nothing. I like it when
I
the
feel like
back
with
open.
the right kit, no rear bumper at all works.
Yeah,
I like that.
like I like being able to see the whole tire and like the tubes in the back. Like I like
Yeah.
seeing that. When the body kit's on it, you don't see how big of a tire's on it. You don't see any of the tube work and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
luckily, somehow, some miracle, when I built the rear of the car and the fuel cell and everything, the radium emblem on the fuel tank, I think, is right in the plate hole for the bumper.
Nice.
Like it was a complete accident. So like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like if I do run a rear bumper, the exhaust is gonna go out of the plate hole at some point through the
Okay.
center. So if I ever
That'd be
get to
kinda
that point, I've had those parts for like 3 years and I still haven't built the exhaust. So
Fair.
got like $600 in fucking stainless.
Or does it
and
just
haven't
dump
touched
out
it.
like right after the axle,
Right before the axle.
right before?
It's wherever the mid section of a stock 240 is, like just
Okay.
like that cat from
Yeah.
the cat to whatever to the axle. It's just like
So
a
just a
45
mid-
downturn right there.
Just the mid pipe.
Yeah, mid pipe. Yeah.
So I want to give at least one a little bit of nugget so somebody can at least come take something away from it, and then we can kind of go into some random bullshit because I know I have one hot take I want to ask you about.
I do
Actually,
too.
two. It's Corvettes and KVD. So we're gonna go on next. We talked about Corvettes
Separately or the
separate.
Okay, I'm like, what would you talk? do they not do KBD for Corvettes?
I don't know. Maybe they do, but damn it,
You forgot it?
I kind of did.
Stupid.
So
That one guy I was talking about, the Daily Drift, one of the sponsors last year, isn't the sponsor this year. Still don't want to talk about it, but I was looking at the picture today, and he's not on the sponsor list anymore.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that after.
I noticed that there's a different company that does the same thing though.
I'm gonna have to look at that because we need to talk afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
and we like that company. Everyone likes that company. He's a nice guy.
We'll have to Just because we're a sponsor.
He's a great race dad.
Race dads are the shit. All right. Let me ask you one question: as obviously, like you guys said, don't be afraid to ask people for help. Would you recommend any drifter or any motorsports competitor or enthusiast to find a track dad or a race dad, or or eventually, would you become a race dad?
He's my
Like
race
I was
dad.
about to say.
Okay, fair.
Do
I
you hold
literally
the
throw him the
flashlight
keys to the
correctly?
car and like go have fun.
No.
Didn't go,
Fucking idiot.
yeah, I literally told him to go drive my car and like didn't go that well. I wasn't mad, so like,
like-
it's essentially I'm a dad. Like,
I
I think if you could tell someone to drive your car, you should be fully prepared for them to go fuck it up and
plan on it.
literally it should
being
be
a write-off.
totaled. Like if you don't think if you're worried about getting totaled, you shouldn't let someone else drive your car.
That's fair.
I like that actually.
Yeah, because you literally just let that person drive. You can't be mad if they fuck it up. You're literally driving a car sideways.
Yep.
And
Doing way worse to it than what they will.
Like
here's a good one. With so many cars being with social, like I'm going to use social media again because
that's such a bad comparison because I could give two shit what people post on social media.
no, I mean,
honestly.
so
I'm, like,
this
so
this
far
one is
away.
like the 240 became pop. Like people were drifting 240 for years and nobody knew about them. And now social media's up. The Corvette in just a handful of years has become the dominant car next to the Mustang.
Well, and they've they've gotten a lot. They've done a lot to make that car good too.
Yeah,
because like in
so-
2018 when Taylor Ray had it, they literally 3D printed parts to test fit for an angle kit, and they made his angle kit for it. And then like I don't know how much longer after that, but then like obviously FTF came out with one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other companies like Destroy or Die or whoever, probably else. But like there was no part when Taylor Ray, everyone called him an idiot and it's stupid. Then like
And
a
now
year or
look
two
at it.
later, that's like literally the best car in competition.
What do you think is a good car somebody can target and still look at it in a relatively affordable range? Example, a dead stock 200,000 mile KA 240 is 12 grand.
Yeah.
You're out of your fucking
Say
mind
a
first
Z or
off.
a G. I
Trash.
bet a Z is probably a bit more than a G. I would just bet, just because the G doesn't look as nice as the Z. In my opinion.
I'd say it depends on the G because if you're going with the coupe or the sedan.
Yeah.
Sedans
But
are
either
hot.
one, like they probably both drive very similar. Like, in a
Yeah.
way. I know one's probably definitely longer, but like
By maybe an inch or so.
yeah. So, but like
But,
Z
like-
or G, good horsepower, pretty very reliable for the most part. Have some weird issues.
What do you think is gonna be the next one after that? Because I see the
Probably
350
FRSs.
FRSs.
Yeah, they're kind of cheap to begin with. I
Yeah.
don't believe they would ever hold their
I
value.
think the Z's and the G's are the new age 240s.
right now.
I've
Like
seen
the
I've
Z's
seen
are
them
the
come up in
S13.
price.
I would
mean-
almost argue that it's the BRZ
but they're not there yet.
GAT86.
They're still like I bet they're still 10
they're
grand.
still up there, but there was so many of those
Salvage title 10
cars
grand,
made
good condition
that
15.
like
Yeah.
granted in like 10 years if we have kids they're gonna be like, hey, I bought a BRZ, and then we're gonna be slapping ourselves in the forehead like, motherfucker.
I could have had this thing for 30 grand.
Not even like that, but they're just gonna be like, look at this thing, and it's gonna rod knock like 2,000 miles in, and you're gonna be like, well, this motherfucker. Well, look at a swap or something, because I ain't
Imagine
put
if they
another
put
box
some kind
in
of Toyota 4-cylinder in that thing. That thing would live forever.
it
Yeah.
would.
That or a K swap. Like,
What if they make a K swap for those cars?
oh, they do. There's a company
Someone
called
has to have.
his company's called K Miata. He specializes in K swaps to anything. He just K swapped I think a G35. They K swapped. Rudge Racing is K swaps are becoming
The biggest
huge
thing is
because
just
they
the
can do
mounting
so much
for
power.
the different cars, because like at this point, like once they turn the engine, like any intake, like any aftermarket intake that's designed for the forward facingness or whatever is probably going to work just fine in almost every car.
Wasn't Preza putting a KA in his 300?
I think he did. I think it's drivable, yeah. But that's
Yeah, he's got the
I don't
KA.
think that was as hard as people maybe thought. Maybe it was. I watched a little bit of it, but like I don't think it was as bad
was-
as.
Anything's
motor
easier to
modes.
work on that fucking motor they have in that 300ZX.
Fair.
Anything is better to work on that thing.
Heavy, big. Crowded,
Before I was
like,
even
everything.
2
into
inches from,
cars, I
Like an F
total-
body.
I really like fantasized about owning one of those. Didn't realize like, you got to work on the motor. This is like before me and Kyle. I was like, dude, that car is sick. That is probably thank God I never was like, yeah, I want one, because that
I
would
had a
have been
less
hell.
one, like
I wanted another F
Jimmy
body
Oaks.
until I started doing maintenance on one a few years back. I'm like, I fucking hate this setup in the engine bay.
yeah.
I kind
I
of
mean, I don't remember. I pulled the engine. Well, so when I pulled the engine out of the F body, my bosses, when I bought the trans, I just dropped the subframe out of the front. And
That's like the easiest way to do anything on it.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. And then I guess his was kind of already like street car, drag car, so maybe a lot of the stuff wasn't there. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, factory ones are kind of a pain in the ass.
You really notice how much you know now versus then, because then I unhooked every single injector and took the harness off instead of just unplugging the one connector. So
Yep.
then when he went to go put the motor in his Chevelle, he's like, Tim, where are the fucking coil pack
You're like, oh,
harness?
shit.
I'm like, harness? Like, it was on the car. We didn't take the engine harness out. He's like, they're separate. I'm like, oh.
Yep.
I fucked up.
And
Yep.
I think I only did one side. Or I think it was one side, 'cause I think I realized it. And then he sold the car, and we only had one side. And then he bought some Chinese one, and they were wired all completely backwards. Like everything was, the pins were all backwards.
Yeah.
So like the Chinese harness did not work. Yeah.
Fucked.
Terrible. Check your stuff, people.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we started talking about Corvettes on the phone. I call it a cheater car.
Anything with a V8's a cheater car when you think about it.
Yeah.
So with the US with the stateside tracks, absolutely, because our tracks tend to be a little bit more sweeper corners, more straight, so you can build speed.
I just don't like clutch kicking.
I don't.
I've never had to, so I
The
wouldn't
V8's
know.
a cheat because you can use the power to
You
just
literally just push your foot down.
boom.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like I almost never kick my clutch. It's always a slip. I just slip it.
Well, we were talking about something on the drive down right before I got to the house.
It was like the Corvettes have been like engineered now to perfection.
Yeah.
Practically. Like now they figured out hey, we can take the fucking transaxle out or whatever it's called and put a dog box in the front of the quick change in it. Probably shaved a bunch of weight off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it faster to work on.
Yeah. And by the time you put like the rate in, change all the probably makes the bias for the weight a lot better. Servicing is better.
Fuck you.
Like you don't have to
I
pull
like
the
the
whole
C5,
rear
but I hate
end
the
out of the
front
car
end.
to fucking look at the
Yeah.
clutch.
Put an RX-7 front end on and you're good.
I'm gonna throw this fucking beer at you right now.
Get fucked.
Just buy a C5 at that point.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I would just buy a C6 for the difference. Okay, 20 grand. 15. You have 15 grand to build a drift car. What's your car, and what are the first few mods you're gonna buy?
Wait, how much do you think a Z is nowadays? Like a
10.
not like not much.
They're 10 or 12 grand now.
Bone stock, like not. I'm not.
Dead
like
nuts,
nice.
200,000 miles. You're talking
believe that.
10 or 12 grand.
I bet like 6,500.
Yeah, around 6.
Not the ones I'm seeing.
You must be finding like mint condition.
If I'm finding 240s for 12 grand with 200,000 miles and a crushed back quarter panel,
That's like a whole different category, though.
So let's switch this to manual because that's obviously going to change the price here. Not mileage. It's the wrong.
when I was looking at buying a Z before I even heard of drifting, it was 6 grand, 7 grand, and that was like that's when I had the Black Legacy.
For 6,500, 8,300, 9. Let's just say 8, probably for a half decent one. So let's
For half decent.
let's call we're calling it 16 grand now. So I have 8 grand left.
Okay.
Just as half my. Or no, wait, it's price was marketplace. I got it for 7. He asked 8, I got it for 7. So
Yeah.
Ooh, I like how you switched. Good fucking job on
yeah.
it.
So now I got so that's 7. So I got 8 grand left. Do you already know how to drift?
No, like
That's
Starter setup.
start.
Yeah.
Like you kind of know how.
you're building. You're gonna recommend me who's never driven.
So we're not
how to
buying all
build
these
a car.
parts at once. We're gonna slowly buy these parts, like over the season.
I'm going
As
to
we
my.
progress, we're gonna buy these parts.
It's my first season.
Yeah. First season, we're gonna start with just the car. You're gonna go out there and you're gonna try. Okay. After that, you're gonna get a steering wheel, a set of coils, and a seat. So let's just call that what?
If you had to pick
I feel
one
like
of
you
those,
don't even
three-
need the steering wheel.
it's just nice.
Yeah.
But let's just call it. I would.
The
I would-
bougie
I would
factor,
spend the money
brother.
on it.
Fair.
So
Gotta
let's
have
just
some
say it's
bougie in
200
there.
bucks.
Come on.
So that's 2 grand. You got 6 grand left.
Yeah.
We can stay on the stock wheels. So we're just doing performance now.
And yeah, I kind of stole this and rephrase it from Circular Drift because he
I
asked.
saw that. Yeah.
So his thing is, it's your first drift event and you can only use in Juku racing. Mm-hmm. I wanted to know from me if I ever looked into it, how would you build the car? Because again, you have to look at it as what if I don't like it and I want to have mine as a
I'm gonna add to
a
his
daily driven.
list. $200 you can get the GK Tech, the minor angle kit for the Z and G
Do
platform.
you think an angle kit's needed for your first season?
No. I wouldn't say maybe like
Well,
depends
for
how fast
something
you
like
if you progress really fast, you can put it on first season, but it's definitely not needed to start.
Let's say for the average person.
So GK Tech doesn't offer a full angle kit like what we
I
have on
fucking
our
hate
cars.
GK Tech anyways.
They have the tie rod relocation bracket
Okay.
to give you a little bit more angle out of
So it's something like
the
you would
trash
do,
steering.
But like so like right now I got $6,000 left after the interior stuff. That's
and we're gonna assume you like the wheels.
yeah.
Just keep it easy.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna like it's titled everything.
Yeah. Or whatever, it doesn't matter.
$7,000
So I got
title.
so I got $6,000 left. I'd personally spend like 3 on an FDF angle kit and like a handbrake setup, and then that might be overestimating a little bit. I think it's like 15. I don't know, something like that.
FTF was 50.
Maybe some, and then maybe a couple adjustable arms for the rear or something.
Yeah.
You don't have to go with like a full rear grip kit.
I think he was saying
I mean, you could do the
just to do the lower, or is it upper control arms on the Z's?
Oh, they're that weird bucket shit, don't they? Bucket spring.
Yeah,
shit that
it's you have to do
in the rear.
you have to do a true coil conversion on those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
trash.
in the last couple grand, I can't really think of what
Would you say like safety
Strobes.
accessories and
yeah, like maybe
tools and
like harnesses and stuff. Maybe like a 4-point cage.
Butterfly doors.
No. I don't know. I feel like you can build a Z really cheap if it's just
You
like
can,
a basic drift car.
My G had the
Like it doesn't have enough power to even have to put a grip kit and like
No.
tow it in a bunch. Like you could probably run all stock.
So
or whatever,
my coupe that I had, I was pulling away from Ross at GLD on the skid pad
Mm-hmm.
with his VQ set up in it, and then I was pulling away from David Valerio and his VHR 37 S14, and it was all factory on some lowering springs. I had a hydro in it. I never used it. I was an auto trans and just the tie rod relocation from GK Tech, and that was it.
like anything after that is like creature comfort or like
Yeah.
like everything in life has an exponential cost to quality and like performance and stuff. So like you put a camshaft in an LS, you can get a camshaft for $400. And like so like at like if you were to be really cheap, like $600 or $800, you could have like springs and some other stuff, and that gets you like between like 30 and 100 horsepower depending on what engine you have. But then you put let's just say a supercharger on,
LS are cheap cars.
you're at like $5,000 or $6,000
Yeah.
to make 200 horsepower or 300 or something like that. So you're like, yeah, everything's like that.
interesting.
Or you go to Walmart and buy shoes for $30, but then like Nikes are 200.
Hey, don't hate on my shacks, okay?
No, I'm not saying
I know,
that,
I fuck
but
with the
like
Shacks, to be
everything,
honest.
everything's like that.
No,
though.
it's fair.
Yeah.
And if you could recommend somebody a setup of stuff to bring to their first few events,
Jack,
excluding bring your car and water.
Jack and Impact. I'm trying to go back to basics because like even when I was going to the track, I had a tool cart in the trailer. Like
So
more stuff
think
than
of
most
it.
people would.
It's they're just getting into
Yeah.
like they can change brakes. It's a general
So,
very
like,
entry 18-year-old kid.
Anything that you would ever have worked on a car with, like basic tool wise, I'd bring. So like I have screwdrivers, pliers.
Go out and buy a Harbor Freight or Craftsman starter,
Yeah,
300 piece kit,
Yeah.
torque bar, impact, jack stands.
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah. That's like a standard.
Hit up
though.
Total Off Road.
You shouldn't have to think
A
about
lot of
that.
people don't think of it though.
Yeah, like I always had one in the car. And now we'll have the fire suppression system. Then I'll have one on my side, and I like most people's are like this big.
Yeah.
The one I get like the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So like, because like I've watched those little ones go, and it's like 3 seconds, and you're done. Like, and it'll fit in my car, and it doesn't you
Yeah.
don't touch it. So like, why would you not get? The
It's
bigger
good for
one?
like a daily driver, just enough to get you out of the car.
Yeah. So like, I'll have one on my side, and then I have another bracket to install on the passenger side. So that way, if I ever like knock my shit out,
Right.
they have one now.
Fair.
Costs $40 to put it in. It's like 30 for the extinguisher and like $10 for the bracket on Amazon.
I feel like
not
I
bad.
brought that up of like one time. Oh, it was off that Taylor Ray video.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching a Taylor Ray video, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm setting up my fire suppression system." He's like, "You might notice that the passenger side has it." He's like, "If I ever hit the wall hard enough
Yeah, that
and knock my fucking shit out."
not buying
need
the
to pull
cable
it.
for that.
Yeah.
Not buying the cable for that. Because my fire suppression system's like out of date. Technically, like I can get it recertified, but I got it off my one of my sponsors, his drag car. He just got a
Yeah.
new setup, so like the bottle's still good, everything's still good. It's just I think he had to go to a bigger bottle or something.
Okay.
And it was just out of certification. He just bought a new system.
Ross got his set up, and he ordered 2 of the pole cables for it. He ended up taking the second one and
the
wired
hood,
it to his
right?
hood release.
The worst, so I love about that is
Don't
it
confuse
looks
it.
fucking so. I told him, I was like, you should color one of those different colors because somebody's gonna fuck up.
Well, what I don't like about my cable setup is it's a
Prank
push.
Ross now. Just, hey Ross, I'm gonna open your hood. Psh.
Yeah, what I don't like about
He
mine is it's a
inverted you.
push one. It's not a pull.
He
Oh,
probably
really?
Yeah, so
I
like, they
guess
come in
so.
both, but
Should
like
just punch it and it
yeah,
goes.
so like I feel like anyone would just go in there and pull it,
yeah.
and I need to get like paint marker or something because it's like etched in there or whatever. Like you
like
can barely
lockout,
read it.
tagout type where don't touch my shit.
No, like it just needs to be like you need to be able to read push because it's not a pull for the fire extinguisher for the system. It's a
Okay.
push, which is like way less common than a pull. So
If
In
it
the moment,
doesn't,
you
if
might-
it doesn't first succeed,
Right.
try again.
Yeah.
Eh,
yeah, but it was free, so like I saved like $600 or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Then it was the same shape as like the nitrous tank, so both tanks on the back of the car look really badass. I love the back end of that car. That was like the idea in my head when we built the back end of the car. I was like radiator, dry sump tank, nitrous, and fire and fuel cell, and now it's all there. Like
And
2 years after I built it, I was like, this is nice. This just looks like a spaceship or something. I don't know. You got all these like different tanks and shit in the
Yeah.
back.
It
like,
looks
all
super
nicely.
cool from the back shot.
Like the nitrous tank probably should be standing straight up. Like at least that's what I more notice on drift cars, probably because you're going left and right and stuff. But it looks way cooler like that.
I mean, if there's pressure in the bottle, it shouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
and it's still like angled it the right way. So like the thing goes down and down the tube or down the bottle and then downwards. So like it should be fine. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with it for like a little bit and then probably I just want to try it.
Yeah.
That's why I got it. That for like banks.
Yeah.
So like very rarely will I need that. So I only have 2 bottles. So 2 bottles, 100 shot. It probably won't last that long.
No.
And especially at like $10 a pound.
Send the rods to the gods.
That too. It's a Gen 3 block. The rods are not gonna hold up to that a lot.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but if you build this the LS2, like John was talking about getting like DSS, like forged pistons, and then I think he said he might have a set of like old used rods from one of his builds or something.
Yeah.
So it might turn into a budget built motor kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like high flow heads or whatever, like LS3 like ported heads or something for like 1700.
Not bad.
Maybe one day.
What events are you planning to hit this year?
I don't know. I made a schedule last year. That was too much work.
Whatever.
The main
works.
ones are, I think it's called OTL in Iowa. We're going to that. That's like a private event. And then
I hear OTO and I think off the line performance.
I think that's what I'm not 100% sure what it is. I'd have to
They
read the
might be
email.
hosting it, but I don't
I've
know.
seen a few
It's in like
things from
Iowa.
them. Yeah.
It's the one that Cho goes to. Because Cho invited me. And then, I don't think there's anything in, Clean Culture's in June, isn't it? I think.
I believe so.
That I have to buy the ticket for that. I didn't get a denial email, so I gotta buy the ticket for that. And then July is like Elite Tuner. Other than that, like Jefferson events and like GOD, probably like one US Air. Kind of sick of going up there.
Is it just because you've been there so many times?
Yeah, it was like I felt like that's all I was last year.
Yeah, it felt like it was every weekend was a 4-hour ride up there, sleep in the trailer, do what had to be done, and then another 4-hour ride home.
Fair enough. What's one track you want to go to? I'm curious. I actually legit want to know.
Probably
This.
Gingerman. That's the Michigan one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Good
Grid
life
life.
at Gingerman.
I applied for the Grid Life at Road America, but I didn't get any confirmation email, so I don't even know if I actually applied or not.
You should
Didn't
email
really
Adam and be like,
care.
"Hey, bro, am I in or what's going on?"
I really didn't care. Like I was kind of like, if I for some reason get accepted, that's cool. If I don't, I really don't care. So
I think
I kind of like. I would rather go to like a what event is that called? I just said it.
Gingerman.
No, or I guess I didn't say the. What's the event called? That big car event.
Grid life.
Grid Life. I'd like to go that
Yeah.
once and experience Grid
Yeah.
Life as not a driver. I actually have fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
If you go to the festival one, it's fun.
I wanted last year. I want to go to Colorado, and they didn't do a Colorado. I'm like, well, that just put a dent in my fucking season.
Utah.
I'm not driving to fucking Utah. No.
It's not. It's close.
It's a day.
It's a day to Colorado too.
I'd go to Atlanta for it.
Day to Colorado.
What was
Colorado's
that one
like
that they
13
had you
hours.
drift under a fucking semi?
Utah's
Shit
like
you not,
16.
it was a grid life.
Ish.
I think it was Utah this year. They set up a semi and they like measured and they
you
were
had to
like
drift
doing
under,
measure
right?
and they put like lights and stuff under and during like the day and night you were drifting under the semi.
That's fucking cool. Shoot. Yeah.
I'm here for all that wacky stuff like drift alpilation and stuff like that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. My car's not really a car that like. I'm always limited at the tracks I go to. Like, I guess Bruce City if it's at Milwaukee Mile again, definitely that.
I saw T-Pain is holding a drift event now too.
Where?
Where?
I don't remember. I saw an ad for it, and I kind of scrolled past it, and then I lost it. But he's hosting one.
I know. Was
Oh,
it?
you'll have it with Hurt. It'll probably be in Georgia, because Hurt moved to
Probably.
Georgia with T-Pain.
There was those guys.
That
Gas
picture
Guzzler
was
podcast
sick.
up in
That
Wisconsin.
picture was sick.
I think it's like Eagle something Fab, and then Tire Tread Direct or whatever. They do a lot of
Tire
Direct,
Track Day Direct.
Track Day Direct.
yeah. It's I know they were trying. One of those guys was having a hard time just dealing with Wisconsin in general of trying to get to host an event because I think they had T-Pain or Hurt like
That was Bruce City. That's Bruce City.
yeah, like we want to come up, we want to do this event with you, and they're like, well, no, you guys only had 1,100 registrants, and he's like, no, we had a lot more. So I think
Bruce City was packed.
I heard
in
it's a
my
great
opinion.
event. I want to go.
At Milwaukee Mile was a good event. At US Air, it was kind of mid, but they did what they could. So
Yeah,
You think
it was a
the
cool
Vic-
event. I like the layout different.
it was probably mid for me because it was literally the same layouts I was driving all year.
So they're just a new
But
venue,
then, like
new
halfway through
place.
the day, they changed it up pretty
Does
good.
that Super D where it was like reverse and you
Yeah,
went
they
down
like started
that
you
weird hill?
reverse
That
on
was
advance,
sick.
but then you like cut through advance, like
Yeah.
right after like the wall or whatever, and then you went into like reverse Super D or whatever. I don't know what it's called exactly, but which was kind of nice that some of us got to drive that because that was the advance or what's the other intermediate?
Yeah.
Intermediate. Once you got into that section, that was literally the layout for daily drift.
Oh, yeah.
So we like anyone that was doing daily drift got to practice daily drift fucking layout for the next round.
That helps.
That's cool.
So like that was the thing I had a problem with on round 3 daily drift is like I already like I only got like one good lap of practice. I didn't really need the problem was it rained. Like I probably wouldn't even needed to practice because I already had driven that. I probably put like
Yeah.
20 laps on that layout. And when I went out for the first one, it from what I've seen, like not that Curtis is like a bad driver or anything, but like it seemed like when he went around the corner he didn't get on throttle, or maybe he isn't as gripped up as me or something like that. So when I got on throttle, I went like right into him, like, anticipating he'd like be floored through
Yeah.
that whole section. And then like once I touched him, like you literally see my wheel. Like I see I'm getting up to him, and I straighten my wheel, and you can literally the smoke of the tires are because the car's going sideways, but the front wheels are straight. You can see the smoke just going like
Yeah.
this, and then I bump into him, and the wheels go like this, and the car like I think I probably caught it like this, and it spun me the other way.
Damn.
Like the wheel literally got thrown out. I was like
Yeah.
death gripped on it. The wheel just got thrown out of my hand,
Damn.
and I spun like the opposite way.
He
And
got
almost
packed
smacked
up
my
on the
back end
trailer.
of my car back into him.
Oh.
At least from what it looked like on camera. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how close I was, but yeah, I did not want to drive in the rain. It was patchy too,
Oh, yeah.
and we had like fully gripped up my car as much as I could get it to drive halfway decent in the rain. Then I got patchy.
Yeah, so you hit that
Well,
one
it
dry
stopped
patch and it
raining.
fucking launches you.
Yeah, it was very odd. Even my lead run, it was like super, like it was like nothing, and like it was just,
Yeah.
yeah, it was not fun.
thinking-
Everyone thought I wasn't even gonna drive. I'm like, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna try that hard, but I'm gonna
Right.
try.
I'm
Like,
at least gonna drive.
like if I get out in first round, I really don't care. It's almost like I kind of want to get out first round, so I don't have to deal with this shitty track conditions.
What about hour and a half? I know we got some more stuff to do tonight, and I severely need to go eat something because I'm hungry as shit.
Continue this at another date.
We'll have to do another one. This time we'll have to pick on Logan a little bit more when we have some more time, and I'm not hungry. All can get out.
Want some salt?
I got another bag in the thing, I think.
You better hope.
So if people see you at a track and it's not a
talk to me.
competition,
Don't talk to me.
It's not a
Unless you
competition, you
need parts,
angry
come talk
fuck.
to me.
Unless I can make money on you, don't talk. To me.
can people go for a ride along with you, or would you? Or would you recommend?
It's like
especially like
definitely a mood thing for
GLD.
me. That's like
Can
a
you take
mood
him
thing.
for a ride along?
I don't
Well, yeah,
mind taking people I know.
Yeah.
Definitely randoms. I'm like, yeah.
What would you say?
That's more from like a liability thing though too.
No, that makes sense. Like say GLD.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that's a good place to
Yeah.
just go? Hey guys, I'm new here. Can I go for
Yeah.
does somebody have some time for a ride along?
Yeah. Usually.
And just kind of put the word on. Just like don't be annoying about it. Like,
Yeah.
but just example.
Never.
Hey,
The only time I ever get like frustrated with people with ride-alongs if they ask twice.
yeah, it's like I'll get to you, and like I won't
knows?
forget. Like I'll get you when I have time.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely try to make sure, like, at least if
bring
I
your own
hear
damn
you-
helmet,
Well, that and like,
or ask very nicely to use one.
well,
Yeah.
that and like, if we've told you, yeah, but we like, we got friends, we've got people that want to come out.
Like at
and
Rockford,
see.
I probably got asked by like at least 25 random people, and I didn't even get through all the people, like all my friends.
Yeah, like it's
Like I got down to like the last 2 and the car broke.
certain scenarios, I guess, would definitely play into that, because like if it's close to like I guess our hometown, we're definitely wanting to have like I guess our closer friends experience it. But I mean, if we're definitely US Air and it's just looking like we're vibing in the pits and things, it just looks like we're being chill and it doesn't look like anything's happening. It's definitely you gotta
like
Read the
use your
room.
common sense. I mean, people don't do it nowadays, but you just got to do it. If you see us sitting there and it just looks like we're, have our dicks in our hands, obviously, you can come up and ask for a ride along. It's be a lot
I should
easier.
just start charging for it, because then I'd probably be a lot more likely to want to do it.
Yeah. And
Dude,
then,
I heard one guy. One dude's like, I don't have money, but I don't have cash, but I'll buy you lunch. He goes, dude,
I can
I'll
pay you
give
in
it to free,
blocks.
but like, sure, I'll eat food. I don't care.
yeah, it's just like definitely just read the room. If we're like, if
But in essence, you do encourage asking for ride-alongs, but be polite.
Yeah.
Don't be over
And then like
aggressive.
I also don't like another way to look at that is I don't like giving random people ride-alongs, because then I won't drive as hard.
Yeah.
So like if you're like,
Would you say it? Sorry, it sparked something I heard on another podcast. Would you say that when you do get to give somebody a ride along, and you, especially their first ride along, seeing the reaction and how happy they are, and like especially like
I used to have
"Holy this
people
is
hold
awesome."
my GoPro like right at their feet like this.
Yeah,
So I've got a few videos of that. Yeah.
That's dude, you
but
gotta
like if
post
I have like
videos
Logan
of
or
that.
Abby in the car, I'm like most of the time at like near 100% or whatever. But then like Logan's also noticed that generally speaking, like the first part of the day, like I go up by myself.
Yeah,
Especially at a new track.
You're calm. You're like
well,
not calm, but like you're
Well, it's more just a safety thing. So like if I crash, it's just me.
it's like
Because odds are I'm gonna crash and they're gonna be fucking dead.
What happens
It's
is
gonna be their side.
yeah no. So normally what
protects his side
happens is he'll go out. I'm like, hey man, like I guess the first time I noticed it was definitely at the Milwaukee Mile, because I went to go get in the car and he's like, hey, can I just
Rockford.
he was like, hey, can I just be in the car by myself? I
gotta
just
feel it out.
I just need to feel something. I'm
Agility,
like,
no.
go ahead, go.
Like definitely place I'm comfortable with. Like agility, no. US Air or not. Like that's
Maybe a lap.
so.
Yeah, like let
GLD,
him.
you can get on with 3 people in the car. And
I guess it depends on weather too.
I pretty much just drive when it's good. I don't.
He's
Princess,
at Bruce
pavement
City,
princess,
at Bruce
brother.
City 22 or whatever, it literally started raining and we were done for the day. Everyone, like a bunch of people went back out. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm not driving in the rain. Going half the speed and no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we're all hungry. We got stuff to do. It's getting midday or later day for you guys. So appreciate you taking your time. How can people find you, Tim?
I'm trying to think my Instagram. Instagram.
Did you ever change it to talk?
No, I probably.
Oh no, I
should.
changed the
I
TikTok.
changed the TikTok.
TikTok
I stole
has
his
been
account.
changed.
I stole Logan's
Yep.
account.
Yep.
Fucking about time.
Yep. That's what
Pretty
it
much
is,
for
brother.
just me, it's just Instagram. Tim Sheehan _93, I think it is.
Just so you know, he doesn't respond
Yeah.
for a few days.
And then like the other day, like the past like few months, I have deleted so many
There's
people
postage
on
time.
like Facebook. Facebook, I deleted 800 people on Facebook the other day.
I need to go through mine too.
And
Thank
like,
you, Rob, about
and I'm probably way more picky than anyone else. Like even if they're like in the drift community or anything, if I don't really know you or talk to you, I still deleted you.
it's fair.
Yeah. And then like Instagram, I unfollowed probably like 500. Snapchat, I deleted a few hundred. Snapchat was the first thing to go because like I would look at stories and I couldn't find anyone I wanted to
Yeah.
look at or whatever. So like I probably have like less than 100 people on Snapchat.
I use Snapchat to just text him every so often.
Yeah,
We're
they
good
could probably do
with
my
that,
Snapchat, which is Toxic Timmy Drifting, but it'd be the public profile. I need to get a fresh phone and look at how they add me, and how, because if it shows up as like a request, if I delete them, does it still show it the public profile, stuff like that? I think so.
Probably.
We'll test it out later.
Well, I found out my boss can see everything that I post on the public profile because he added me and I never accepted.
Yeah, there's
it.
reasons my boss is
Just
not.
so
happy
you
at
know, be
anything.
careful, folks.
Oh no, that was a conversation piece of work. He's like, "What did you do last night?" I'm like, "I didn't do
Like, there's a
anything."
reason
He's
I
like,
only
"I
post
know
anything
you were
to do with my job
hammered."
on
And I'm like,
Snapchat, not on
"Fuck."
Instagram. Because I think his sister follows me on Instagram. So like, not that like I post anything that bad, but like sometimes there's like funny things
Yeah.
that are just kind of like on the edge of like, probably shouldn't post that.
Fuck it. That's the fun ones.
Like today I posted like new driver started. He already fucked up the tire on the truck. Wasn't his fault. it's just funny.
It's just
like,
fun to make fun of.
the
Them.
kid had, like, it was like a second day, and I went to get my wallet out of my truck today, and I went past the new truck, and the tire's just flat. I'm like, a steer tire too. Steer tire's just flat.
Shit, damn.
And I'm like,
You fucked up.
wasn't flat the day I drove it.
Not my problem.
Logan, where can people find you?
E34 wagon on Instagram,
6 feet under.
Toxic Timmy, drifting on TikTok, Facebook, my name. Yeah, that's about it. Just one of those guys.
Awesome.
Nah,
Rach, you got
absolutely.
anything for him?
Nope.
Yeah, this dude talks to all like the drift guys 10 times more than me. I talked to like a few.
Bro,
and that's
'cause
about
it's
it.
So here's
interesting.
what we're gonna say. If you want to talk to Tim,
Reach
talk
out
to Logan. Logan will get you in touch
he's
with
like
Tim.
he's the
Or just talk.
he's
you'll
the
talk to one
he's
of
like the
Tim.
hiring manager or whatever. He feels you out first.
Yeah. If you talk
If
to
you
Tim, you're
make
probably
it
talking to
past
Logan.
me, you'll probably make it to Tim. But if you don't make it past me, you ain't making it to
And even
Tim.
if you make it past Logan, you probably still won't make
It's
it past
not a
me.
guarantee.
It's not a guarantee. I can only do so much.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't like my phone going off.
He does not.
I have like everything turned off except for like texts and like Snapchat.
And phone calls.
And even Snapchat, there's a handful of people that are muted, and like group chat's muted.
You'll have to
I
mute
hate
those.
group chats.
Group chats are the worst.
I don't mind it when it's muted.
Especially when you get added into a random one, and then
And ours is
everyone
pretty
starts
small. Like
blowing it
there's
up.
probably less than 10 people in there, and we don't like use it all day long.
But when you do, it's like ding 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 ding.
Yeah, which is why it's muted.
Exactly.
Because like one person puts one thing, and then everyone puts their 2 cents in, kind of thing. And then it's
Oh
like,
yeah, you got to.
So I have one last question, just to kind of close out and give everybody a kind of a piece to take away. In order to keep motorsports alive, what would you recommend people doing for drifting? Let's say specifically
stop
drifting.
doing takeovers. Would be the
That-
first
fair.
thing.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like there's just the same thing with like street
Be
racing.
smart.
Street racing is fine. It's perfectly safe.
And so you get
At 2 a.m. in the warehouse areas.
yeah,
On
not
the-
downtown.
or on the highway at 2 a.m. with no one there.
Don't
Splitting
think-
lanes down the highway.
and rush hour traffic is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stupid.
Or like shutting down a highway to race.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole episode on its own.
Yeah.
I know you got some hot takes on that shit.
But
I think it's all stupid.
don't think getting into it is incredibly hard. You just gotta start asking questions and ask people to break it down. Even if you might field them, sometimes you might need it broken down in a little bit.
And I
more
feel
of
like
a
most guys
simple
are gonna
way.
be willing to.
I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of beginners ask people like yourself to get in the passenger seat and be like, hey,
Yeah.
can you watch me? Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
I can't do that. I try.
Tim cannot physically.
It's so
He can
hard.
tell me
There are
better.
Dude, I literally go a million grid. I'm like, how do I feign entry? I'll literally be like this. Like, how am I supposed to feign entry? Like, I literally can't think about how to do it. And
Yeah.
I can do it. I just can't think of like
Yeah.
like for the comps, like they wanted you to feign entry. They did not want to see handbrake entries.
Yeah.
Which in my mind, feign entry is when you want to keep your speed or accelerate through up to the turn or into the turn, and
Okay.
handbrake's to slow yourself down. But
Yeah.
they want you to drag race into this on this 150-foot line into a turn that you have to be going slower than when you just were drag racing.
Right.
So like I don't think I ever got in trouble for it or whatever, but like I would feign entry and then a second later I'd pull the handbrake because like
Yeah.
I feign it and then I'd rip the handbrake so that way it wasn't a
you
straight
didn't
handbrake.
dirt drop.
Yeah. Oh, I dirt dropped a lot. I literally got a text from Alex Zier one round. I think
Stop
it was round
dropping,
2.
jackass.
Literally, it said stop fucking dirt dropping
I love that.
from Alex Zier, one of the judges at the time. I don't think he might still be, but like he literally said stop dirt dropping.
That's awesome. But yeah, so essentially, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Find a Facebook group,
Yeah.
your local Facebook group.
And
And then
like
mute
if
the
you
group
have
chat.
a friend
For the
that
Midwest-
does it, don't
Go
be
ahead.
afraid to ask them. Or that's how Tim and I do this.
Okay,
I just
awesome.
Wasn't afraid. Like I asked him, and then things started clicking, and then here we are.
Like finding events on Google is like not that doesn't work.
If you had to
No.
recommend, I'm gonna.
Facebook groups, 10 times easy. You could even look, if you went in GOD and asked when the next Club FR event is, someone would, there might be some asshole comments, but one person will steer you to like the FR.
They're gonna
page.
they're
You
gonna
can
give
find
you
them
some
on
bullshit.
YouTube also.
Yeah.
I found Rio Bash through YouTube.
If you just type in like Midwest,
I just learned
drifting
about that
and just
one.
Look up events.
And
If you
the friend
just-
cup or whatever.
If you are not like, just do your own research. Don't be afraid to send it. There's a lot of people in the community willing to teach you and want you to be in it. I mean, I don't want the community to die. No one really wants the community to die because there's a lot of awesome people in it. There's
And you make some great friends. You
Yeah.
meet some
Like
interesting
the one
people.
person I always remember, I don't remember his full name, but it's like Skeeter something. He's got like a old like 300ZX or something weird. It's so like
Is it
unethical.
like one of the first or second? First
Yes, I
gen?
know who you're talking
I
about.
don't know. His name's like Skeeter, and like he doesn't care. He just goes out and have fun. Like it doesn't matter.
Like
Like, go have fun.
close to bone stock 300ZX.
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy.
I'm pretty sure.
California.
This guy.
I don't know, maybe. I saw some dude in Cali that has like a relatively stock 300ZX, and he just drifts the shit
No,
out
he's
of it.
from like he goes to GOD a lot.
Yeah, he drives it there, drives
If
it
anybody
home.
knows who
Like,
this guy is, tag him in
Yeah.
the post so we can say
Like he's
what's
just
up.
like
Because,
Royce, like very basic drift car. Doesn't care about
He's out to have a
anyone
good
else.
time and
Yeah,
keep
doesn't
it
care
dude.
about having a 900
Just
horsepower.
don't
fucking
be
thing.
afraid to ask, and really, if you want to be in it, be in it. Don't.
I think 800
Don't
horsepower fucking
half-ass
cars
it.
are stupid at like local tracks. If you're not going to grid life event, all these big events, like,
That's a whole
there's
nother
the
topic we can have.
stupidest thing
Hot
in the
take
world.
episode. He needs to be on it.
Yeah, my car makes 400 horsepower and is fast.
Especially on local tracks.
Yeah, like that's 800. Like you're literally burning money. You have smoke behind you. That's cool.
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
Well, let's rock out, guys. Let's get some food.
All right.
I got to take a leak. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Logan, for coming on. I love the cars. Whoever has that GS needs to sell it because I want to
Kelly,
drive it.
whatever. I don't know his last name.
I don't know, but it's gorgeous and needs
Hot
to stop
bodied,
sitting so much.
Big car. That's sweet.
That fat ass car. I love it. Thank you guys. Thrace, Logan, Tim. Awesome. Let's go get some food, Thrace. I'm hungry.
Yes, sir.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya.